Hello, we're live. Hi everyone. This is our Christmas special of talking movies. We've got all the reprobates here today. Yeah, we thought we'd do something different instead of Christmas movies because, we always, we did Christmas movies last year, and there's only so much Christmas movies you could really talk about, and so thought let's do something different. So let's do exploitation cinema.
What'd you do?
Yeah.
Nothing says Christmas than sultry nuns and very. Oh God, Carl's gone again.
Here he is.
Oh.
Yes.
Is this like a Jackie Weaver situation today? Are you gonna
Yeah.
game?
I think we are going to have a Jackie Weaver
Oh God!
situation.
Oh God! Please don't. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh, okay. Oh God. Hi, Dustin's here.
Dustin.
Going through.
Hello.
Obviously, going through is here. Sorry, no can shield. Merry Christmas live stream panel. Oh, that's very formal, but I like it. I loved your Drive My Car review. Thank you very much. I don't even remember what I said anymore. It feels like
I really loved Drive My Car.
Yeah,
I thought it was really good. I mean, how has he been able to do two great movies this year?
Didn't he write a script for something this year as well? I think he wrote a script for Wife of a Spy for
That
the
was
Kiyoshi Kurosawa film.
That was
that was last year though. Yeah, that was last year though.
So
Yeah.
no.
So, I'm hoping to watch that this weekend. I've got a few films to watch this weekend. Love After Love, which the new Anne Hui film.
Bit of
Anne.
Imagine she made an exploitation film in Hong Kong. That'd be quite funny.
Has she done an exploitation? I don't think she.
I don't know.
I think the closest thing she's done is Swordsman, because Swordsman was originally directed by King Hook, but I don't really call it an exploitation film because it was originally directed by King Hu. He left the project, and it was like a group of directors that took it over. You got Choi Hark, Anne Hui, Tony Ching. They all took over that project, and then I think Tony Ching did the rest of them.
Like Battle at Lake Changjing, where you have 3 directors.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes again.
He goes again.
I think we're gonna have to do a pool. How many times this is gonna happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 7. Anybody else? I'm gonna take a tally.
7. He's done it twice now.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna go 7.
I'm with 10.
Pete is 10. Eric?
24.
24 times.
Kraus?
Well, we know these streams go for quite a while.
Yeah.
And we're only, 3 minutes in?
Yeah. It's okay, how can you top Lonely Cow Weeps at Dawn is a big thing.
It could happen. What's your total? How many times is Carl going to cut out?
I'm going to go for 11 times.
11?
But I think Eric's more closer.
Yeah. Dimitri, give me a number.
9.
9. Okay.
Okay, so 9, 11, 9, 10, 11, that's great.
Nobody wins anything, by the way.
Not even respect.
But we'll see. Okay, we'll see what happens. We're on 2. I'll keep a tally. So we're on 2 so far.
Yeah.
We're waiting for Carlo right now.
So blah blah says evening, guys. Hello.
There
Good
he is.
evening. Good Abend. Hello, Oya. Merry Christmas to you also, Nita. Nadolig Llawen. Feliz Navidad. Joyeux Noel. And all that. I don't know what else to say.
I don't know. They don't celebrate
What was Merry Christmas in
Turkey.
Russian again? I forgot.
What?
What was Merry Christmas in Russian again?
Rождество?
There you
I
go.
don't know. It's very bland.
It's
very bland. С Рождеством.
Спасибо.
Fanatical Dragon, evening, guys. Season's greetings to you all. Season's greetings to you also.
I like Fanatical Dragon. He's got a really good YouTube channel. Really recommend it for anyone who's into kung fu movies, Hong Kong cinema. Top guy.
Blah Blah also says Wrath of Man is good. Added on Prime today. Yeah, it's not bad. The new Guy Ritchie one looks really weird. The one with Hugh Grant though.
Aubrey Plaza
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. Aubrey Plaza though. Yeah, true.
I like her, yeah, but I think Guy Ritchie's just gone. He's doing these so different. His films are now.
Yeah.
Like that, Wrath of Man and
Aladdin.
the,
I love Wrath of Man.
I liked Wrath of Man a lot. I really enjoyed it. Oh, with him, I either really like his films, I really hate them. There's like no in between. It's like
I've been meaning to rewatch his King Arthur for quite some time. I remember falling asleep at the cinema. Like the only time I ever fell asleep at the cinema was during King Arthur, and I really need to rewatch that film because I feel like maybe there's something there.
yeah.
it's a weird mess of a film. I love King Arthur films, but this one's really is a mess. It's like weird.
You didn't even love the David Beckham cameo.
That was fun. That was fun. I mean, I love Gods of Egypt, so who am I?
Oh
saying
yeah,
anything?
I adore Gods of Egypt. It's so weird. It's like I'm glad there's someone else who's into that one because
I enjoy that one as well.
yeah,
It's
one you bring up and everyone's looking at you.
Oh god. Thorin says, "I love the new Anita Mui movie."
Yeah, I've not seen it yet.
What's the title?
Isn't it? Is it Anita?
Is it? I was not even aware this was okay.
Yeah, it's called Anita. That's it.
And it's,
Yeah, for a second there, I was like, "Wait, how is there a new Anita Mui movie?"
Didn't they do a biopic of hers?
Yeah, I
a
think
few
I
years
heard.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They've just done a biopic of Takeshi Kitano.
What?
They've done a. Who did that? Yeah, they've done a biopic about him.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Strange.
Is it Takeshi Takeshi?
he's not in it. No. He has nothing to do with it.
Like DA.
It's just based on his book, I think. But he's got a new film coming out, Neck, but it's still in production.
Isn't this the last film as well?
That's his last film.
Yeah. Alleged.
Well, he shut down his production house. What is it? Office Katano.
Yeah.
Going through what you're drinking, was coffee or tea?
Tea, chamomile.
He's channeling his inner peace before.
Yeah.
Before the
In
gap.
case anyone starts bringing up Zavi.
Yeah. Well, we started it, so
Yeah.
Well, somebody did get excited for a Raging Fire Steelbook and then found out it was from Zavi, didn't they?
Yeah. I flipped out.
I'm surprised that's getting like a Blu-ray release over here. I thought that would be like a US import only.
Yeah.
Well, it's is it Cine Asia? They always release the Blu-ray. It's like they did the 800 at the beginning of the year, right? Was it the beginning? I can't remember.
They did 800
at some point this year.
800, yeah.
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 But I mean, I'm gonna see if I can buy it directly from someone else. Because now I'm not even buying from Arrow because Arrow is pretty much like Zavi now. So I've stopped buying anything from Arrow directly. I buy from Terracotta. I think the prices are better, and the guy who runs Terracotta, Joey Terracotta, is just such a gentleman. He's such a cool guy. So I'd rather support someone that's cool than give my money to Zavi.
Mm.
Under the umbrella of Arrow, Arrow under the umbrella of Zavi, isn't it?
And he ships early as well, which is nice. Because you got the Obayashi set already, haven't you? Which I forgot to order.
yeah. Well, I'm still waiting for it to be posted.
Is that directly from them as well?
Terracotta, yeah,
On
Terracotta.
Oh.
But it keeps on saying these are getting posted now, and I'm thinking, I'm not. Mine's just not.
Maybe
But I ordered it really late though, so I guess I'm last in line.
maybe it's
like
just
to
because they
order
saw his name. And it's like, oh yeah, I'll send it to him.
You saw that thing that I put up on Instagram. Did anyone see it? So basically, someone got a package from Zavi, and it was wrecked. It was absolutely destroyed. And I put a picture up. I go, how many times? And I've said it basically. I said, I put the picture up and I put, how many times have I told people to stop buying from Zavvi? Do you know what Zavvi replied? They replied with a laughing emoji.
Oh, that one, yeah.
I'm like, and I replied to it and I go, yeah, look, you guys literally don't care anymore. You just really don't give a toss. You're just trolling people. And then someone else, oh, sorry, we didn't mean to laugh. We thought it was something else. We didn't even read the message. Okay. But as an apology, here's £10 voucher. I said, no, I don't even want it. I don't even want to buy from you. Even if you gave me, you said like you give me 50% discount. I don't want anything from you guys. I don't even want to support you because I don't think you care about people. You don't care about customer service. It's just that bad. Sorry to put a downer on everyone.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Downer.
My Shaw Brothers box set will be posted soon from Arrow. Fingers crossed.
That's my last thing from Arrow.
Oh,
3.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah, I think Eric's the right idea.
Well, we're 3 and it's 11 minutes in. Here he is. I've got to keep an eye on, like. Right, Carl.
Doing my head in. Yeah, my internet just got really bad storms here at the moment, and it's just internet just keeps going off and on, as you can see.
Oh, don't worry, we got your back.
Yeah, we're keeping a count going to see how many times you disconnected.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
What else have I got? Azor is good as well, the movie. Yes, Azor was pretty good. I liked it. It was interesting.
That's just been added to movie, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's worth a watch, I think. It's not amazing, but I liked it. Fanatical Dragon says, thanks, Huss, you're a diamond, mate. How much did he pay you for the plug?
Honestly, he's a good guy. That UK, like Hong Kong YouTube scene is really growing, and it's good to see. That there's a couple, Leon and Shaz. They're married, and they do these reviews together, and it's really cool. And like they're going through this thing about reviewing Cat C films as well, which is quite fun to watch.
Oh, you put the links up to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have got them on.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Yes, I assume it was the Battle Royale set Dustin's talk about, the one that you had that you won that you put on Instagram, isn't it?
Mm.
The package, the when's that?
Yeah.
Andre's here. Hello, Andre.
Andre.
Why can't someone else start making those boxed sets? Make sure they pack well. It can give Zavvi some competition.
That's what Terracotta doing.
Well, yeah.
Well, Terracotta's doing the same things.
Yeah, it's like the two of the set was really. I was happy with the packaging on that one. Yeah, need a Zavvi War story stream. Maybe we should just do that. Just do like a screen where you just like talk to Zavvi customer service and just see how far you can take it.
Yeah.
Like throw some like random dialogues from like movies and stuff into it and just see what happens.
Yeah. Bizarrely, I've never had a problem with Zavvi ever. Like, you want to hear these stories, I was like, I've never had a problem with them.
You jinxed it.
Yeah, I honestly, I've never had I actually abused their system once. They had like a deal, and I got like Hellraiser and I think Sartana, set for 10 quid both.
The only good thing that ever came out of Zavvi, one of my subscribers ordered the Old Boy Steelbook, the 4K, and they sent 2 to that person instead of 1, and they sent me 1. Like, I was like, this is the only good thing to ever come out of Zavvi.
Were they bent or damaged though?
No, they were pristine.
Dang.
Like literally pristine.
Wow.
Damn.
Still.
Right then, I would say we can start, right?
Should we start?
Yeah. How are we doing this? Shall we do Shall we alternate it, or since I'm keeping tabs, or
what will confuse you the most is a big thing.
I'm not going to confuse myself though. I'll be alright. Well, maybe.
No. Just what makes your life more miserable?
What makes my life more miserable?
Yeah, that's the technique we should use.
Badgering emails from Welsh film people. That's
Right.
what makes me angry. Anyway, enough of my life. Shall we go? Okay, we'll do Hus, and then the second round we'll go Eric. Then the next round we'll go Carl, Dimitri, and then we'll just go around like that. Okay, I'll keep a tab of it.
No, you won't.
I will. Trust me.
You won't. You won't at all.
Okay.
You can't even do it when there's just like the repeating the same thing.
Do you want to bet?
I don't. I just don't trust you to do it.
I've got a can of Iron Brew just for you. Okay, I will do this.
That's awful stuff.
Wait, how do you get those huge ones? Is that like half a liter?
Home bargains.
Yeah, but there's usually like 0.3. I've never seen the huge one.
This is pure orange shit, but it's good.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So, Hus, please begin with your number one choice.
Okay. I am going for a Norifumi Suzuki movie. It is Sex and Fury. Now, this film, I wanted to put it on my list. I watched it this week, and it just sent me through a rabbit hole of other movies to watch. It stars Reiko Ike, who I don't know why she doesn't get the same amount of love as other great like Japanese actresses, like Maiko Kaji. She's absolutely phenomenal. But I think she had a few problems with the law and she got blacklisted. But this is just, a woman who's out for revenge after her father's been killed. He was a detective, and when he's like literally dying, he pulls out these 3 cards with 3 symbols. Like one's of a rose, a deer, and the other one was a like a warthog, and they represent the 3 tattoos of the killers that ordered his death. And she gets into gambling, but any way to get into into these killers. Like she does anything to get in there. And you've got I think she's a Swedish actress. You've got Christina Lindberg in there, who plays like another gambler. It's just phenomenal. It's a beautiful film. I mean, the cinematography is stunning. It's really colourful. It's quite extreme as well. A brilliant movie. I think, Eric, have you seen it?
Yeah, a while back.
Yeah.
What's on the notes?
Yeah, I remember being. I watched it a while back because it was kind of one of the big titles in that particular subgenre of film, and I remember it had a good dose of naughtiness to it, some violence. There's like that sword fight and a decent finale. I did feel it was maybe a tad on the slow side, I think, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was made before Lady Snowblood, and there's like a really good like sword fight in the snow, which is it reminded me of Lady Snowblood. But then I looked at it and I was like thinking it came out the same year, but came out in February, and Lady Snowblood came out in December, so it was like probably a little bit of inspiration drew from there. I don't know, for Lady Snowblood.
Okay. So there's no weeping cow.
Sounds great.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Okay. Well, that was very eloquent of you. I thought that you sold that in a very eloquent way, even though it's meant to be smut.
Yeah.
Is it smut though? Is it like...
But there's a lot of prostitution in there, rape as well. One person gets killed because she covers her body in like this poisonous oil, and this guy starts licking her all over, and then he dies. Really good
Jesus
death.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've gone from
that sounds
eloquent
rad.
to kind of okay. Now we're kind of slowly warming into this process.
I'm
Yeah.
in. I'm in.
And you
Totally.
have got a rape scene in there as well. So I'm
So
the
we're
first
20
one to
minutes.
name a film with a rape scene.
But is it like gratuitous or is it done to
No,
emphasize the point?
It's Japanese.
Yeah.
I mean, like Lady Snowblood, you're watching that, you're like, okay, this is done in a way that does not feel overtly extreme. You know,
No, it's much more extreme than Lady Snowblood, I would say. The scenes.
Well, you're 20 minutes in, so you've been demonetized already. So congratulations, Eric. What's your first choice?
All right, I'm going to go with one that recently got a tricked out Blu-ray release, and that's Robo Tricks from 1991.
It's gone straight for Cat C.
Yeah. This is one of those Cat 3 flicks, and here's a synopsis for you. Criminally insane scientist transfers his mind into an android, played by Billy Chow, and immediately commits a series of assaults and murders. While escaping possible police capture, it shoots and kills a female police officer, but another scientist transfers her mind into a different android. So with the assistance from a robotic assistant named Anne, this team of sexy androids join the police force and pursue the criminal, but one of them becomes fascinated by the pleasures of sex. Yeah, so that's your synopsis. So yeah, it's this one's pretty trashy. There's a scene early on at like an android fair or festival or something, and like the android outfits look like something they bought at Kmart during the late 80s.
Yeah,
that's pretty hilarious. There's a good amount of action, but it's mostly backloaded to the second half. But it's just such an inappropriate film. Like for example, there's a the Vice Squad cops are complaining because this evil villain's killing a bunch of prostitutes, and the Vice Squad cops are like, man, if all these prostitutes die, we're gonna be out of a job. like they don't care about the lives of anybody in the film. They just don't want to lose their jobs. So there's all kinds of crazy shenanigans. One of the cops like goes off duty and then disguises himself as a customer so he could try to sleep with his coworker who's posing as a prostitute. So there's all kinds of good stuff like that. It's a pretty fun flick.
Yeah, the poster looks like a really weird, like James Bond kind of vibe to it. It's because the guy with the tux and yeah,
it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I've picked up the 88 films release of it.
Oh, there's an 88 films of it.
Yeah, they picked it up earlier this year.
Yeah.
I like it. I went on Letterboxd and I saw Andre gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So, that's a healthy score, and I respect Andre's opinion. So I might, I'll check it out at some point. Maybe Christmas Day I'll put it on, with a mulled wine and a mince pie. Maybe not. But yeah, so just to confirm, we're on 4 now with Carl, and it was actually meant to be Carl next.
Yeah, Eric's gonna win for sure.
Yeah,
So, Eric is 20 away. I'm 3 away now from fucking up already. So. Oh yeah, just throw a 7 in there.
Yeah.
No,
You're too nice.
I don't know. It's definitely between Pete and Eric, I would say.
No, I think Chris is higher than me. So I'm well out. There's no way I'm going to win.
Oh no, Huss is 11. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see.
What are we on? 3 at the moment.
4.
4.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's not even in the lobby yet.
Is he not?
No.
Oh God. Okay. Well, then we'll just go to Dimitri then.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I'm a filthy casual when it comes to exploitation cinema, so I'm still a very virgin mind. But today I saw a film that I adore, the Slumber Party Massacre, 1982. which I think is brilliant. I think it's fantastic. This movie fucks on like an astronomical level. Essentially, a story is about this girl. Her parents go away for the weekend. She decides to throw a party at her place. Coincidentally, at the same time, this power drill killer maniac is on the loose. He ran away, so the police are trying to catch him. He's demolishing, the suburban landscapes of Florida, and it feels like this movie kind of exists in its own weird, like, what the fuck is going on universe. It's not like Silent Night, Deadly Night 4 kind of level of weird, but it has this element of like, okay, we are doing a kind of a parody. It was intended to be a parody, but it was shot as a rather straightforward slasher film. So you have this dichotomy between humor and genuine slasher, like norms, I guess. It conforms to the slasher norms. And it creates this bizarre feminist slasher that actually works somehow. I think it's terrific. It reminded me a lot of Black Christmas and its kind of feminist rhetoric as well. For 1982, something like that feels very unique and very fresh. It uses exploitation techniques not just to subvert them, but rather play into them. So it's not an entirely kind of subversive slasher film, but it kind of is. It's on the verge between the two. It's just a lot of fun. It's gory, it's booby, it's fucked up, it's hilarious. There's a fantastic pizza sequence. If you don't know it, I will not spoil it, but it's brilliant. I had a blast watching this. It's amazing.
It's a good movie. I like it.
The fact that it's like, it feels like a farewell to childhood and like innocence. And this kind of, obviously you have this drill as like, you can't read it as anything but a phallic symbol. So this kind of notion of patriarchy closing in every single fucking minute of the movie. And then at the end, it feels very empathetic as well. It does not play by the conventional rules of, I guess, like slashers in terms of victimhood. It kind of creates its own unique identity.
You can tell you're in uni mode at the minute.
Sorry. Sorry.
I haven't seen this movie in years, but I've been getting it confused with a different movie that I saw, The Sorority Party Massacre.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah. Wasn't that remade like in 2009, right? A Sorority Row. Yeah, Sorority Row is fun as well, I think. I
love Sorority Row. You could easily do like a list of like college horror films. There's so many of them.
Hell yeah, they're fun. They're amazing.
Maybe we should do that on the Halloween stream next year. Just like college horror specific.
I mean, Urban Legend is amazing. Like I still stand by that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
1, 2 is alright. 3 is
God. Oh, 3 is
3 is not even cinema.
Yeah, which one has a scene where a guy takes a piss at the electric fence and he gets electrocuted? I think it's 3.
Yeah, it is 3.
It's 3.
I think it's 3. It's called Mary Witch or something. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think that's something like that. Yeah. The second was Final Cut, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we've had a message from Carl. Sorry, guys, my internet isn't going to play ball. Literally watching the light go from red to green every few minutes. Even when I was on, you were all freezing up. Bummer. Carl, if you are there, you can give us your list on the comments, and then we will share it.
Yeah.
I think that would work also.
I feel for Carl, like, really, because I think my internet has been fucking up for the past couple of days as well. So it's not, happening in London as well.
Well, these storms have been crazy, like over here. I can imagine it's been worse up there in White Devil Land, but
it's not actually that bad up here. I mean, my internet's fine.
Nicola Sturgeon's got a nice Thunderdome over your place now. Keeping you safe.
Yeah, it's probably some part of some like satanic deal. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I actually forgot to show this as well, but I got this today.
Is it a quad? Is it a quad?
It's a quad, yeah.
Yay!
Is it a Scream one? Oh,
hell yeah!
Yeah. movie of the year if you've not seen it. That's it. This movie isn't necessarily exploitation, but it's totally worth watching.
Okay.
Is it exploitation? No, it's not.
Nah.
But check it out.
But
Really
it does
cool.
have exploitation element. So you could kind of,
No, it's worth it. But yeah, Carl, if you're still there, please put your choices in the chat and then we'll read them out. Probably none of us will have seen them.
Carl put
Because-
Gummo. He said his first choice would have been Gummo, which is a
Oh.
fantastic film.
That is a good choice. Okay, we know Gummo. That's a good Corinne. The spaghetti in the bath still makes me ill, but
The bacon taped to the wall.
it's fun. Right
I've
then,
seen that
so
for years.
Peter.
Oh, so it's my first one then. Okay. I'm going for Shivers, the David Cronenberg debut, which is pretty disturbing and pretty dark. Who's seen Shivers here?
Me.
I think so.
Yeah. Basically, Shivers is Cronenberg's first commercial film, produced by Ivan Reitman of Ghostbusters fame as well, which
Right.
makes it even weirder, is because it's about this phallic turd that basically has been created by this mad scientist, and it makes everyone very sexualized. And it's basically like a exploitation version of High Rise, the J.G. Ballard novel. And basically, in this high rise apartment, all these kind of middle class people, they're all very repressed, and this kind of thing just goes into their bodies, affects them, and makes them like into nymphomaniacs. And basically, the reason it's exploitation is because there is no like barrier. When I say sexual, it is like any type of sex, anybody, any age. You know, you don't see anything, but everything suggesting it's got a real feeling to some of the ideas in it, and it's really twisted and weird and very David Cronenberg. And it's one of those ones that it's done tastefully because Cronenberg knows how far you can go, but there's some really gross stuff. There's like bits of like things coming out of people's mouths and into other people's mouths, and it's like the creature itself is just this turd-looking thing that's just next time people coming out of people's mouths. It's horrific. It's like John Waters' worst nightmare. And it's horrific in like really weird ways that makes you think in really weird ways. It's just wonderful, but it is like it's going to freak people out if they are a bit square. Really, it's pretty twisted.
Would you say it's gorier than Rabid?
Well, it was a film made before Rabid. I don't think it's quite as gory as Rabid. There's more ideas in this one. It's more idea-led than Rabid. But this one I think is creepier than Rabid. It's on your skin more. There's lots of just weird elements to it. And it's when we've seen like an old person suddenly like been horny. And it's somehow really horrific how they do it. And it's like, you know, and it's just like it is like it's one of those films that's never been remade, I think, because you couldn't really remake it and actually get away with it anymore.
I didn't expect you to say something like Shivers, but no, it's a good one. But $1 million that thing cost to make, and he barely made any money out of it, which doesn't shock me whatsoever.
What was that?
It's only $1 million to make, and it barely made any money back, which doesn't shock me.
Oh no, it did. It made a lot of money. That was a controversy.
It's 179,000 Canadian dollars it made in the box office. It says here.
No, that's no. It actually made a
Oh
fortune.
no, sorry, it made $1 million and it cost 179,000. My bad.
Yeah, it made a lot more than. Plus, it was made by taxpayers' money, which caused a controversy. And
That's
then
the funny thing in Canada is that a lot of these filmmakers actually get like government funding to make their movies.
I know it.
McGoyan are the same. Like,
and they had a fit when they found out what they spent the money on. Then it made a lot of money, and they had to keep on funding them after that.
Quality control wasn't there.
No, it was like everything they did not want in a Canadian film. You know,
Like,
I
how
mean,
does this
when you're a
represent
10-year-old girl looking lewdly at somebody, that's like, oh god, please don't put that on screen.
Yeah. Oh god. Okay, I like it. Good choice. Good start. You know what? I find it weird because I'm looking at the stream here, and it's like I still find it weird that there's no dislike anymore. That you can't see the dislike numbers.
I miss them.
Yeah, me too. I always get screenshots from Huss when I get a dislike. It's like, what's going on? I was like, I don't really know. Got hated.
I get really upset by it when I see it. I don't mind it happening to me, but when I see it happening to my friends, I just get really. It upsets me. I don't know why. I just don't see the reason for it. Because if you know these people's character, I can understand if you dislike me, but dislike someone that I know is just like such a nice person. I don't get it. I mean, there's no reason to dislike like any of you guys. I don't see the point of it. I don't see a reason other than I don't know.
Petty shit.
Yeah,
That's what it
some
is.
people just like to be nasty. It's just like,
Yeah.
so I just find it amusing. Really,
We all
it's
know
like,
Zabi's
okay.
the one that dislikes Huss's videos anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's round one then. So first up this time is Eric.
Ooh, I'm going with a big one, big time. It's an Indonesian flick called Lady Terminator. And this is from 1988. And basically, it's about the Queen of the South Sea, an ancient sex goddess. She seduces men before using a serpent that resides inside of her wuha to devour their penises. And that's how the film starts. But at the beginning of the film, there's a man who eludes her attack, and she gets pissed. So she like curses his family. So then the film cuts to the present day, and it's like the 80s, and his great granddaughter is being targeted by attack. She's being targeted for death. And of course, the Queen of the South Sea returns as a Lady Terminator to kill people. So it doesn't, like, even though it's a Terminator ripoff, it doesn't feel like a Terminator film for like the first 40 minutes. You get like the period piece stuff at the beginning, and then you have almost like a slower burn horror film like after that. But then when it hits, it just rips off scene after scene from the Terminator like as soon as it hits, and that makes it really quite fun. But the cool thing about this film is that it's just, in its own right, it's just so entertaining to watch. The pacing is good, especially like the whole second half. You get tons of like action thrown in. There's like these army dudes or military dudes who show up, and one of the dudes is like a mullet and a huge nose, and he's ready to throw down with the Lady Terminator. You get some good squib use and violence in it. It's just like a really like fun movie that I would say is like a must watch. It's so entertaining. So that's my pick, Lady Terminator.
I'm looking at the stills of it, and it just looks absolutely crazy. Does she take out her eye like Schwarzenegger?
I think so. Yeah, it was something similar. Yeah.
Jesus.
It's just, not cinema. It's funny when you get these like rip-offs of like major Hollywood films, and then just rip penises out as you do.
Put some respect and
Most men deserve
Transmorphers.
it, let's be honest. But yeah, that's funny. I love the poster.
I mean, there's probably some deeper meaning to all of that. Ripping penises, castration.
There's a guy.
Gotta be.
Yeah,
Gotta be.
Guy, it has to be. Yeah.
There's some local folklore with the ancient sex
Well,
goddess.
if it's Indonesia, there must be some kind of spiritual essence to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
One of a letterbox person I follow gave it 4.5.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
It's just like,
hell yeah.
The tagline is "She mates, then she terminates."
I love this. I love this.
Mahalo. That's amazing. But yeah, I okay. That's Eric, you're a 2 out of 2 right now. You've done some homework. Unlike some people like me. That's amazing. Okay, Carl. My second pick would be Extrema, a Belgian movie about a group of disabled rockers. It makes train spotting look like Alice in Wonderland. So sleazy and some really hardcore scenes. It's great.
Gracious.
Wow.
What the hell? Anybody heard of this?
No.
Nope.
I am currently looking into this now. Oh
Be
shit!
careful.
Hey, it's not taking me into Pornhub territory like you, Eric, at the first attempt that we had with this. But wow, this looks really fucking grotty, man.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like okay, yeah. This is very Carl, very Carl Hobday.
Lords of Shadow or whatever that movie is. Lords of Chaos, sorry.
Yeah.
Pales in comparison immediately.
It's just the way he says it makes train spotting look like Alice in Wonderland. Just
so nonchalant.
Once you open the stills, you're like, okay, I can see what he means by this.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And if anybody on the stream doesn't know, Carl is a family man. Okay, just gonna put it out there.
This is his escape.
Yeah.
Carl, have you seen Everybody Dies But Me, the Russian film? It makes Fish Tank look like I don't know, Dr. Seuss's Cat on the Hat.
Fucking hell, man. Right. Well, after that eye-opening piece of cinema, Dimitri. Oh, is he frozen now?
Is he frozen?
Oh, he is. Yeah.
Oh god, we're having technical difficulties a lot today, aren't we?
We don't usually get this much.
No.
Just give him a second to.
Give him a second to wake up.
This adds to my total.
Are we starting a new tab
Dimitri,
now?
wake up. Wake up, Dimitri. There he is.
I don't know what's up. I don't know what's up. I don't know what's going on.
It's your turn anyway.
Hey. Again, I'm a filthy casual, and you know this. But there's one film. It's a mainstream American horror film that I do think plays into the exploitation genre, and it does so terrifically. It is this Hostel Part 2. Eli Roth's Hostel Part 2. I genuinely adore this film. I think this is one of the best horror films of the 21st century. Essentially, it takes the ideas of the original Hostel, capitalism as the root of all evil, this kind of obviously easy target. But it reframes it within the context of this group of girls who go to the same hostel as the dudes, the homophobic, sexist dudes from the first film. This time around, it's the girls who go there. And it changes the game a little bit by immediately from the start, spoiler alert, kills off the survivor of the first film just immediately. Fuck off. You're irrelevant at this point. These girls, they go to the same hostel as these dudes, but also we have another story, a parallel narrative with the guys who torture these people, who purchase these people and they torture them. So we have two dudes from the US. One of them is hyper-masculine, like machismo, a guy who is supposedly rich. You don't really know. He keeps living this luxurious lifestyle. The other one is this really kind of a nasty, kind of a nice guy type of persona. He lives with his wife. He does the chores around the house. The only time we see him do something in the film is him doing the chores and helping the kids. That's it. And the film essentially deconstructs the idea of exploitation cinema, I guess, and violence and how we consume violence, how we approach violence. So obviously it tackles the idea of how everything can be bought, everything can be purchased. It doesn't matter. There's no morals whatsoever. But also the fact that the narrative with the two men is very interesting. There's a homoerotic undertones between them, and there's also a significant aspect of the fact that one of the dudes who's I'm a married guy, I would never do anything like that. He is the ultimate devil of the film. He is just the most despicable human being. ultimately, the film ends on such a fantastic note that I dare not spoil. I think it's genuinely terrific. Easily Eli Roth's best film ever. I do think this improves upon the original tenfold, and yeah, I think it's terrific. Genuinely amazing film.
We're on about Knock Knock's best film.
That's a good one. I like that movie a lot. But I think Hostel Part 2, it's so confrontational. Like, it's inherently confrontational.
Yeah.
And the fact that when it came out, it was dismissed largely. People just kind of, oh, it's another torture porn movie, blah, blah, blah. Even though the term just fucking sucks. Like, torture porn does not exist. This is like stupid, a fabricated concept. Like, I think a work print of the film leaked before it came out. So Eli Roth blamed like the box office returns on that. But also, you know, the film is just so complex. Like, upon dissection, it's just so incredibly complex for a mainstream studio horror film. And I do respect it so much for being as weird as it is. Paul Thomas Anderson and Jordan Peele discussed it during, I think, in Fangoria, there was an interview with PTA that Jordan Peele conducted, and Paul Thomas Anderson was like, "Jordan, have you seen Hostel Part 2?" And he was like, "Yeah." Have you seen Heather Matarazzo's like upside down Lady Bathory scene? He's like, "Oh yeah, that's one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in my life."
Oh yeah, I was actually going to start talking about that now.
I was going to talk about that scene with the sickle.
One of the most memorable like scenes in like modern horror, I think.
It's genuinely horrifying. It's genuinely horrifying. And the way it balances like terrifying stuff, like genuinely grotesque, horrific content with levity and humor and this catharsis for the women in the film, I think is really good. And I think a lot of people kind of read it as misogynistic, which is fair, totally fair. You know, I read it as a critique of masculinity, especially patriarchal kind of like this indulgent masculinity.
Yeah, I really dislike the term torture porn because it's just used to write films off. It's like, I'll just label a film that, and then that way I could just write it off and not have to, And also, I'd like to shout out two of the supporting actors, Richard Burgi, who was in the Sci-Fi Channel show The Sentinel, and I've been a fan of his ever since then, and Jalo starlet Edvig Fennick was the art class professor in that movie.
Oh yeah, that's true. So, yeah. And what's his name? Ruggero Deodato is in it as well as a cannibal. There's a scene where he eats a living person. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's the funny thing is because that it was very much seen Ash's referencing Torso, and I just watched Torso last week for the first time, and I was like, oh, I get that. I get the reference. Yeah, I really enjoyed Hostel Part 2. I like Dimitri. I thought it was way better than the first one. First one bored me, but the second one I really, really liked because it felt like what the first one was trying to be. Like they kind of worked out what it should have been. This one,
Yeah, definitely. I think it expands on like the mythology of the first film and kind of it like it's so nihilistic ultimately. Like the survivor has to play by the rules of the hunting club. Yeah. There's no escape other than playing by these rules, and the rules are money. That's it. So I really love this film.
Yeah, I like Hostel 2. I mean, Hostel 2, first Hostel, and that third one just was an absolute mess.
Yeah, I think Eli Roth did not have any involvement in that. It was like a straight.
Really? Did he produce it?
I think he was like executive producer, but he wasn't like involved on any like creative process whatsoever.
Not in Las Vegas, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in Las Vegas. It's kind of it's very diluted. It's very trashy. Like Kip Pardue is in it, who's like a really sleazeball kind of character actor, and it does fit. He does fit the role, but other than that, it's just like the gore. Even the gore is not. It's like it's not done really well. It's a very cheap movie. Yeah. No,
good choice.
Very good choice.
Doesn't surprise me considering you talk about it so like a lot. Not all the time, but when it comes up,
Yeah, it's just kind of like I feel like horror recently has been following the same kind of scenario. Oh, we have this trauma, or we have this story of whatever, a metaphor.
Supernatural, whatever.
Yeah, just like there's no confrontational horror anymore, like except for maybe Get Out. But even then, like I think like over the years we've kind of, it became so like mainstream, and I don't want to use that negatively. I'm just saying like it like the point of the film got so misconstructed over time that people
Almost
use that movie as
sanitized.
jokes. Like
Yeah.
people use it as jokes when in reality, I think Get Out is a horrifying film. Like the concept of that film still terrifies me.
It's always the meme that sticks in my head with Get Out is like, I would have voted for Obama for a third term. That like that one just always just comes back up, and I'm just like, oh god, it's such a cringe line as well.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that if you go to Get Out and then you go to Us, like not many people deconstruct Us that much, but there's a lot to it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I prefer Us to Get Out personally.
Yes,
I do too.
Yeah.
I thought it was, like Lupita Nyong'o, when she's in the jumpsuit is fucking terrifying. I tried to watch it in a hotel by myself a couple of years, like before COVID, and I was like, I can't watch this anymore because her voice was just freaking me out too much. But
she's terrific in it
because he's wrapped up the new film now, right? His next film, which is out next year now. That should be interesting.
He shot it on IMAX camera. Like surprisingly, I was so like I did not expect that.
He can do anything he wants now, really.
Yeah,
basically. But okay, good choices. Right, Pete, what have you got? White Devil.
All right, my next choice is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, because it was meant to be an exploitation movie. And they made an intelligent movie with the budget of an exploitation movie, and they subverted the normal exploitation. Because you've got a serial killer, and it's like there was so many serial killers in the 80s. There's so many movies about them, 80s and 90s. It was like a cliche back then. There was like a glut of god awful ones with a few good ones, like Manhunter and there. Of course, taking the idea of you're watching this movie for the gore, you're watching this movie for the sex and violence. Now let's actually shoot it in the most cold, brutal way possible, but not be exploitative, and actually make you sympathize with the serial killer, even though you shouldn't. And it's just creepy as hell. It's one of those films I don't watch very often, but it's because it's so creepy. The whole idea of it is just disturbing, because they are the two serial killers are the darkest serial killers you can get in movies, because they're so real but so dull at the same time, and it's like that's what's creepy, and it's true exploitation because it is so low budget, so hand-to-mouth filmmaking, but it just subverts everything you expect from this kind of movie. And it doesn't give you the easy way out of it's a serial killer movie, let's have some fun TNA action or something. It actually gives you that, but it does it in a weird way, and then it does that sequence to do the whole invasion of watching it as if you're the way you were watching the movie at home, and it's just brilliant. It does take every exploitation trope and just twists it on you. So I think that's a great exploitation movie, even though no one ever brings it up that as an exploitation movie, because it's subverting the whole thing.
There is, I think like it's probably one of those first films you ever like. You kind of when you want to watch like shock factor films, it's like one of those that you always kind of like think about, I guess, isn't it? But it is weird, as you say, not enough people kind of put it into that category, but it actually is.
Yeah, it's kind of like Golden Glove is in the same. I guess in the same field. I recommend it to my buddy Connor. He watched it. He gave it 5 out of 5. He was like, "This is terrific. Thank you for recommending this to me." I'm like, whatever floats your boat, man. I respect that immensely.
Yeah.
I do think Golden Glove is terrific too. But yeah. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, man, that's a rough watch. We actually studied that film like 2 weeks ago at uni at film philosophy. Yeah, like we didn't like extensively study it, but we kind of talked about it briefly. So yeah, it's still
warnings beforehand. It's my like anytime I have to do a class now, it's like any movie, you have to put a trigger warning on it if it's something that will like. I was like Henry, I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. But dude, like I told you, like we did Itchy, and like 7 or 8 people showed up to class that day. So yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the cowards. The cowards. They should have braved through it.
Yeah. I think the thing with Henry as well is it does not show the violence. It cuts away. Like every single time it cuts away, and I think that's the horror of it. You have to kind of imagine all of that in your head, almost like you are embodying the killer in a way, like you're complicit in the act. It's a very interesting film. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Start of Michael Rooker's career.
Yeah.
And now, he was, what was he? Yondu.
Yeah.
No,
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that weird. What was his Savoyan? What was his Savoyan? What was his name again in Suicide Squad?
Oh, I don't remember. Like
Clairvoyant Savoyan.
in the opening sequence.
Yeah, everyone died.
Yeah.
Everybody dies. But yeah. Oh god, I really should have read some of these things. Jimmy D Bags, hi lads, welcome. Nice to see you again. Hostel 2 has Edward Finch. Okay, I'm really gonna struggle with this one now. Chickhoods. I'm gonna say that. For me, the scariest part of us is the look of the boy gives his mom at the end of the film. Yeah, it's pretty freaky. We all know what happened there. Golden Glove is amazing. Fritonka was a terrifying person.
Yeah, I read the book at a pretty formative age, and that scared me to death. I was genuinely petrified by that.
Going through also Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, is there different versions of the film? I think there is, right?
Oh, the BBFC recut it and actually tried to subvert the actual meaning of the terrifying scene they were watching the video, which got condemnation for everybody because they messed about to get it restored eventually. But that's a real switcheroo, basically, is the BBFC here.
We love the BBFC, At least they just fuck up everything, even the Devils,
Yeah.
Let's not get into that today. But anyway, okay, Mr. Huss.
Okay. Well, I'm going for a cat 3 now. This is my only cat 3 in the list. It's called The Rape After. Okay. No, finally pulling it in the title. So this model is doing a photo shoot in a monastery. Have you seen this, Eric?
Yeah, it's Double Fetus Part 2.
Double Fetus Part 2, yeah. So she's doing a photo shoot with this photographer. One day after they're working, they go back to her home, and all of a sudden this statue from the monastery appears and rapes her and impregnates her with a demon inside her. It's like a demon statue, and we got scenes of like a back alley abortion clinic, but like I don't think anyone's really going to see this film, so spoiler alert. She dies like near to the end of the film. She has a car accident, she's burnt, and then they do like take out the baby from her burnt, crisp body, and as they're opening it, the doctor's head gets sucked into her tummy, and then he comes out and his head's like decapitated. It's like so bizarre and out there. It's probably the weirdest cat 3 I've ever seen. I'm only putting it in there because it's just so bonkers, and it's a bit of fun. I mean, it's a mess, but it is a lot of fun, this film.
What year was that? Always checking the spreadsheet.
Huss, is that the kind of movie you find on X Hamster? Or is that
84.
the kind of movie you...
84. Jesus.
And do you know something? It's directed by Tom Lau. Now, Tom Lau, I think it's his only film he directed, but Tom Lau is a cinematographer. He was a cinematographer on some of the biggest Hong Kong movies like ever made. We're talking like The Chinese Ghost Story, Above the Law, The Millionaire's Express, Last Hero of China. What else has he done? He's done The Heroic Trio. She Shoots Straight. Once Upon a Time in Once Upon a Times in China. He was a big cinematographer, and to do a film and seeing him do a film like this is just absolutely crazy.
Was that the film you were talking about a couple of days ago? Is that the one you were watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah.
House, would you recommend it?
I'll recommend it to watch. Yeah,
Okay.
you're not going to enjoy it, but it is definitely something that you have to see. And there's scenes which you'll probably never see in a film again.
But it's fun.
But it's fun.
Ultimately, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
It's absolutely
for.
fun. It's absolutely fun. But yeah, it's a mess.
Wow, that's a.
I had a VHS of it. I just saw the title and I thought, oh, I want to get this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting choice. I bet. Wow.
Huss, just to let you know, also, I've just been informed that our friend Cool Duda has a new movie coming out, and it's actually called, you ready for this? Amityville Karens.
Karens.
Karen, yeah.
What
You know
the
Karen,
hell?
right? You know what
What
Karen
the-
is, right?
Yeah, Karen.
Yeah, so he's done a possession Amityville movie about Karens.
About white women
Yeah.
in America, like
Yeah,
conservative white women.
Amityville Karen, yeah.
So is this like Amityville Shark? Is it like
Yeah,
is it
basically.
in that way?
But for the
Wow.
Karens.
I still comment whenever I see his picture up on Facebook. I always make a little comment about because it's always the same post. It's always like this.
Wait, Cool Duder is the guy who
Where's the
like
cat?
does like Blu-ray like
Yeah.
videos, right?
All
Oh,
the comments underneath it. I feel sorry for him, even though I'm part of that group, that are just insulting him.
Look at that
And-
poster, man. Like that's art right there.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
just look at her.
Wait,
that
how do they keep
blonde
getting
wig.
away with the whole Amityville thing?
I
Like-
have no clue.
It's like the trademark Amityville horror. So like they can use Amityville and then add anything to it and then get away with it that way.
I have no clue. No clue. But I'm just like, yeah, I'll check that out. Anyway. Is Carl still in the chat because he needs to give us his third choice now?
No, I don't think he is.
Continue. Where are we on? So we've got Jimmy D Bags. Anybody seen Trauma, the 2017 Chilean film? Truly shocking. No, I have not.
Yeah, I've heard of
I'm
that.
sure Carl has. If Carl is still there, I'm sure he will respond. Going Through says, I still have the Dutch version of the VHS of Henry the Portrait Serial Killer, which I assume is uncut. Well, you know, if it's Dutch, probably it's uncut because you people are wild. Recently, what else we got? Jimmy D Bags recently picked up Gestapo's Last March from 88 Films, Mental. That's still not allowed classification by the BBFC. I've not actually seen that one. Boxer's Omen, pretty bizarre. Hell yes. I'm always indebted to Eric for that recommendation. One of the best finds on YouTube for sure. I'm telling you, we should start our own like premium label, and Boxer's Omen should be the first one.
Yeah.
It's like Eric has to do like a 90-minute video essay about like.
I was doing commentary on the Blu-ray. Like, who the heck's this guy?
I'm sure we can start like some kind of GoFundMe or something to get this like off the ground. It's like Talking Movies label or whatever like that. But yeah, it's like Asian Movie Enthusiast presents Boxer's Open.
I know Frank Zhang anyway. I'll ask him to do a commentary. He'll do it for us.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah. Jimmy D Bags, Amityville Bigfoot is cool, dude. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, he released that.
Fuck.
Amityville Bigfoot, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this guy is.
I think we can all agree nothing's ever going to be as good as Avalanche Sharks. I mean, no one's ever going to top that one.
What was,
Wait,
what was the other one? The what was it?
Velocipaster. Oh my god, yes. Velocipaster. That's
Velocipasta.
the shit. That's the shit. That's the real stuff.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think that's like one of the only times I've ever lost my mind on a stream, just watching the trailer for that. You know.
Oh my god, the movie starts and there's an explosion, and like instead of an explosion, it's like explosion.jpg.
Yeah. It's just like even the post of it, right?
Oh man.
Well, yeah. I still haven't watched it, but I feel like I know enough of it. You know.
Wait, what was the one about a shark? Which is like a shark inside a house.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's a shark exorcist.
Wait,
yes,
what?
yes, I think it's the shark exorcist. Yeah.
It's not in water.
No, there's a movie where a shark is literally like it's floating inside, indoors.
Oh, you're fucked then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Oh man. Going through, I wonder if anyone will mention Lucio Fulci's New York Ripper. I seem to remember it having an eyeball cut scene and the killer making Donald Duck sounds when he kills.
Yeah, that's my honorable mentions.
Oh, was it?
Good choice. Yeah.
And then Jimmy D-Bag says that Amityville Karen is already out apparently.
Oh,
Maybe we should just like ditch Christmas Day and do a watch along all together. You know.
Yeah.
how about you guys do that and then let me know how it is?
Yeah.
I found this movie. I found it.
Oh god.
How shocked.
Oh god. I mean.
Jesus Christ.
Karen.
How shark.
Oh my god.
What is
Didn't Junji Ito do a manga? I think I read it, Gyo, about the sharks that run on land.
Oh
my god. It was a pretty good manga.
We're living in a world where, you know, this shit gets made, you know. Fucking hell. I'm trying my hardest to like make some like serious cinema. Oh my fucking god.
Dude, you're done. And like how you can escape.
Yeah, there's no way.
You're gonna die either way. Jesus.
It's like, I guess I'll die.
Oh god. The Dutch film
you know,
episode-
Amityville Karen stars James Duval, who used to be in indie films, were actually quite good.
Seriously.
Oh my god, no way.
Yeah.
Amity, is it an actual film? Or is this a concept?
It's
a film. It's an
actual
IMDb.
film.
The wonderful James Duval is in this? No
Yep.
way. No.
Is Eric Roberts in it? He's in like 200 movies a year.
I think that's the one he missed. This is the one that was like, nah, I'll need the afternoon off.
Directed by Sean C. Phillips. Hi, Sean C. Phillips here. Another
Hey.
Blu-ray update.
Wait, is that another YouTuber?
That's him. That's
Oh, wait, he directed that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I thought he starred in it. Oh, wow.
Holy shit. He's
Like,
not
my
lying.
mind is blown.
Well, Jimmy D-Bags has also informed us that there is a movie called Amityville Vibrator, and it actually is a movie.
Of course.
Oh, fucking hell. Why do I feel like this is a Pandora's box now?
Yeah.
You could do anything now.
Yeah.
Amityville.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
hour and 7 minutes, you're definitely not monetized. 1000%.
You have to talk to Man V Film because he did a whole series of Amityville sequels and weird ones, and it was like he went down the rabbit hole of Amityville sequels and all that stuff. He was like, it was quite a set of videos. I was glad I didn't watch the films, but I was quite intrigued the videos.
Maybe we should just do like an Amityville spin-off. on the street.
My wife's friend, she's just started in a film called Lapwing. Her brother directed the Amityville horror movie, the one with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
The remake?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Interesting. What's he doing now?
I don't know. I don't think he directs.
Working in Pratt.
Working Pratt.
I mean,
Uber driver.
I gotta be honest with you. I don't remember that film that well, but I thought it was like at least competent. Like, it's a Platinum Dunes remake, so like, you know, you have a competent movie. It's fun. Ryan Reynolds is ripped in it.
Ryan Reynolds is a Welshman now as well. Well, I don't know if you knew this, but Red Notice is the first ever film to have Welsh subtitles on Netflix.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did it make
He's doing
sense?
more
Didn't
for the
like,
Welsh language than some politicians do.
Didn't he push for it, like Reynolds
Yeah,
himself?
he did. Yeah. He's fair play. He's doing a lot, which I appreciate.
Is
Don't mind.
Red Notice any good?
I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
You know,
it's fun but
stupid.
stupid.
Yeah, absolutely
I mean,
pointless.
the gulag sequence in this,
The
like
gulag.
it made me like die
Oh
inside.
God, I've seen it. Yeah,
There's the Russian prison sequence in this.
yeah. When he started, not Policia.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's just, oh my god. Their Russian was, I think, like Reynolds like tried Russian in that one scene. Amazing.
Chigga says, my friends think I'm a sociopath or a pervert based on the movies I review on Letterboxd. They don't understand the only reason I watched that pottery porn movie is because Sean Sonner directed it. That's commitment to the craft there.
What movie is
Yeah.
he talking about?
It's pottery porn movie. I don't know. I've stayed away from the Sean Sonner kind of like that side of his life.
It's like going back into Abel
Pottery
Ferrara's.
film. Which
What's
pottery?
what's the title, Chigga?
Yeah, I'm interested in knowing what title.
I'm
Eric,
curious. Is the nickname, does that originate from Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because it sounds like that.
Jimmy D Bugs. Imagine showing up on a movie set and Sean C. Cool Dude is behind the camera. Oh god. Dutch film buff. I think I saw a Japanese movie once called Vibrator. Pretty good drama, if I remember correctly.
It is.
Oh yeah, Eric has responded to him. Eric, please divulge more in this.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember being like a really good. It had a little bit of sexual content to it, but it's actually like a quality flick, like something you'd see at like a good quality film festival. You know?
Oh really?
Yeah, I recommend it. I remember I haven't seen it in like 15 years, but
I think my Google is just like, what the fuck is he searching today?
At least you're not searching cows anymore.
Well,
Yeah,
progress.
yeah. You know, the fact that 2003 is it?
Yep.
Ryuichi Hiroki. Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, he's
Andre
good
gave it
director.
4.5. Well, okay.
Andre's seen literally like films that I thought I was the only person that's seen this film. Maybe Eric's seen it as well. But when I go to, because I was compiling this list, I was like looking who's seen this film, and it's just Andre has seen. Is the only person that's seen some of.
Because he's Portuguese, he's got taste. That's why.
Yeah.
Is it like a perverts only list or something? I mean, you make it sound like a little club that's
Yeah.
like very dubious.
Yeah. It is.
So the title for the sono is called "Females Modeling Human Vessels" or something like that.
What?
I've never seen
I've
that
seen
one.
that.
Is that
one.
like a Pink movie that you made? Or what?
I don't
No
even
way.
think it's a pink movie. So I'm assuming it has to be an early movie because I doubt very much he's made porno since then. But there's nothing coming up. No, I can't.
So it's not like a home movie made and it leaked onto the internet or something. It's nothing like that.
Oh right, no, I know which one he's talking about.
It
It's
sounded
called-
like something that
it's
you made
called-
with
it's
his
from
wife.
two-
Or
It's
what?
actually from
Yeah,
2000.
pretty much does, isn't it?
It's called Teachers of Sexual Play, Modeling Vessels with the Female Body. It's a 60-minute film.
Oh yeah, that's the one I was
And
thinking.
then
of.
there's one dude that logged it, and this is what the log says. No, ma'am. I swear, I only watched it to complete Sean Sonner's filmography. It's not like that, I swear. No, please, don't take away my Letterboxd Pro subscription. That's good. That's good.
I found out yesterday that Abel Ferrara was in a porn in
He was.
1976.
He starred in it.
I found out yesterday, blew my mind. Oh, wow.
He starred in one.
Yeah,
As-
he starred in it. Yeah, he
Yeah.
directed it, and he was one of the cast members.
Hmm.
as an extra or as a.
No, he was a member. Yes.
Not like, do you remember when Louis Theroux was an extra in the porno for a documentary? He played a Canadian Mountie
Yeah.
in a homoerotic porno.
Oh.
What a guy. Okay. Cal has finally told us his third choice. My third pick would be nude nuns with big guns. Joke.
Nice.
Bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia. Bleak, brutal 70s Peckinpah.
That's the movie I've been meaning to watch for the past 2 years.
That's
Really?
got an Arrow release,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I'm not sure, but it had quite an expensive release. I do know that because I've been putting off buying it.
Yeah, I think Arrow released the 2-disc one. I haven't watched it for years. That one.
London.
Is it?
That's me, Hackney.
Oh.
No, I gotta go. They found me.
Good luck.
Hide your stash, Eric.
Jimmy D Bags. Okay, well, I knew this was going to come up at some point. So, any of y'all saw Prisoners of Ghostland with Nick Cage, by the way? What did you think? Got to be Sono's worst movie yet, in my opinion. It was really boring. I don't like trashing any Sono, but it wasn't good.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did
I had a
too.
good time with it
Yeah.
too.
I had fun.
I think you got to go in there knowing what you're getting.
Yeah.
I think it was just too hyped. Because like we haven't said this word yet, but the normies that watched it, I think at the early festivals who'd never seen a Sono film before, I think just kind of over blew it too much. I think that's how I saw it, because like people giving it like 4 or 5 stars, like the reviews at Sundance at the beginning. And I was like, it's a good like middle tier. Well, like it's not top middle, but it's like it's I enjoyed it as much as I did. Testicles and all that.
It's no masterpiece, but it is just you go in there and you're having a lot of fun watching it.
Yeah.
What was that guy from Big Al's group? What did he call it? He said it was
Pretentious.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, which is funny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I found it really tragic. Like, in a way that not bad, but like really, really sad.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I just like it, everything involving time, these people kind of in the suffocating, like post-nuclear landscape. And like, again, with Sono, come back to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It just feels really, I just found it really like exceptionally sad for some reason.
Yeah,
really
it
liked
was
it, though.
watchable, but I
weirdest
fidgeted
thing
in my
is-
seat a lot while watching it.
Yeah.
It
Really.
wasn't good.
I can understand why people don't like it.
No, because the thing is, it's just like it's middle ground. It's not like it's not anything amazing, but it's not.
It's a divisive film. It's very
I think
divisive.
the biggest problem I think with it is that it's not. He has no kind of writing credit to it, because he's usually well known for writing his own stuff. Right? He had 2 Western people write this film for him, and I think it's just like on a visual aesthetic. Yeah, sure, I can see Sono, but in the writing itself, that's the problem. I think is like it's not enough. But obviously, he said himself that he wants to explore the world much more and stuff like that. It's like, well, if you let him write it, then give it a go. But I think that's the film's main flaw.
Maybe make it a Japanese movie and just keep it in the same world.
The thing is, I think if he wrote it, it ended up being like 4 hours long or something. I think he'd have like expanded it so much that it would have been like.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like even with like tacking it, he was like, he had. I think that scene when you had "If I Could Put Time in a Bottle," I thought that was a great little scene, but it was just too short as well. So yeah.
Bill Moseley as the governor was really good, I thought.
Yeah,
like it was surprisingly good casting.
Western influence.
Remember though, he did make Red Post on Esher Street in the same year.
Yeah.
And did he have a heart attack or something?
Yeah, the heart attack before he made Prisoners of Ghostland, right?
Yeah. 2 films and a heart attack. I mean, come on.
And they're completely different movies as well.
That's the thing. If you know Sono, Red Post on Esher Street, it's like genius. So just be happy with an extra one there as well with Nicolas Cage in it. I mean,
Not many directors can do 2 films in 1 year, and they'll both be like masterpieces.
You could be right, Suke Hamaguchi.
Who's I think Hamaguchi. Shion Sono's done it. Not Shion Sono. Hong Sang-soo's done it a couple of years.
Even this year.
Yeah.
One of them is brilliant. One of them is great, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Fun show. Right, where are we going? Jimmy D Bag's best thing about the whole movie was Tak Sakaguchi. I love Tak Sakaguchi in that movie. Prisoners Go sounds pretty good, says Dustin. Too many producers with their fingers in the Sono Pie faux show. Jimmy D Bag's Western producers are not always good for these kinds of things. Well, you look at what happened with Park Chan-wook. He did not have a good time when he made Stoker, even though I really like Stoker, but he didn't enjoy making it. It happens a lot.
Wentworth Miller, man. Wentworth Miller.
Yeah, he wrote that, didn't he?
Yeah.
You got Kim Ji-woon with The Last Stand.
Mm-hmm. Then what else have we got? Andre, I enjoy Prisoners of Ghostland 2, not Son's best film. Dustin, the Steelbook release of Prisoners of Ghostland is allowing 2 discs but only 1 holder. Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. That is just like the biggest error in production. How can you have a holder that only holds 1 disc and you're putting 2 discs in there?
Weird stuff. Jimmy D Bags, it was too wacky and comical for me. Bill Moseley was horrible in that role too. Remind me of a plantation owner from Django Unchained.
Yeah, but they're all caricatures. Yeah, like I think
I think Bill Moseley is just like I think he just thrives in those kind of weird roles anyway.
Yeah. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
That's what
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But damn. Okay. Anyway, Dimitri, what's your third choice?
I'm feeling really wholesome and nice, and I want to take a break from all the violence and gratuitous nudity. So I decided. Oh, you wish. I decided to go with something really nice. I decided to go with this, the Beach Bums, which I adore. I actually, upon my first viewing, I don't think I resonated with it quite as well as I did upon rewatching it last week. I genuinely found it cathartic to watch this again. It's such a joyous piece of film. It's a film about this guy, Matthew McConaughey, who plays Moondog, I think. Yeah, I think Moondog. Yeah, Moondog. He's a poet who enjoys life to the fullest. He writes. He's in the process of writing his new novel, his new poetry book. And he just finds himself in this weird situation where his wife, who he loves, she has an accident, and he does not feel like he does not know how to process it truly. So to process it, he ultimately, amid all of these, amid the Kush haze and amid all of the partying and drinking, he is put in rehab, and along the way he meets wacky characters. It's basically Uncut Gems for stoners. That's how I perceive it. It has that rhythmic energy to it, has so many brilliant side characters. It feels like it's an ode to joy, but at the same time it is also largely an indictment of the Western kind of obsession with luxury and capital and everything involving, excessive spending. I think it does not want to comment on it too much as Korean wanted to comment on that in Spring Breakers, but here it does play, I think, a prevalent role, especially at the ending of the film. So the whole idea of the film, which I feel like resonated with me, is losing someone you love and then channeling all that energy into doing something that you love, into your art, your creative process, your work, your life, your love for the other people around you. I feel like it just has so much to say about where we are right now. I think as a collective, as people who kind of turn on each other very often, and I don't want to, and it's not about politics. I'm just saying, like, in regular life, I feel like that's just a common occurrence these days. So yeah, I just found it really cathartic to watch this film again, and I will rewatch this many times more, I'm sure. And as a stoner film, it works. As a kind of a social kind of critique, I guess, a critique of American capitalism these days, does work as well. Korean is fantastic with his direction of this. It does not feel aimless as opposed to what many people say, I think. It feels very focused, but the focus is exactly in the mementos, in the brief moments that you carry with yourself. So yeah, really like this film.
Choice. I did not expect to hear Trash Humpers today. Oh no, Beach Bum today. Had 2 Koreans now though. That's actually quite weird. But
things I get what he's talking about. I like Beach Bum as well, and it does feel like a kind of weird riff in like 60s exploitation movies that were produced by Roger Corman. There's that kind of feel to it, really. Like it is a riff on exploitation. There's this kind of feel to it that's kind of there.
Yeah, yeah. It just, like, I feel like the whole idea of exploitation, it's so like thinly veiled, like it's so difficult to kind of precisely point out what is exploitation cinema, what isn't. I kind of took this because this is such a bizarre film because it has so many moments of like stoner humor, which is kind of inherently satirical and inherently like bizarre and nonsensical. Like the dolphin scene in this is brilliant. It's amazing. It's objectively amazing. Sorry.
I'll never forget Martin Lawrence came back to cinema because of this movie.
Really?
Yeah, he hadn't been in a movie in ages.
Wait, like, oh, yeah. Bad Boys 3 was after that.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, Zac Efron as like a Florida man in this. Amazing. With his like panini haircut.
The panini haircut. Zigzags.
Mwah.
Oh god. Jimmy D Bags. I actually just watched Beach Bum last week. Haha, it's so bad.
Wow. Way too right on my parade.
Yeah.
What a way.
Actually, because this film came out in 2019. 2019?
Yeah, you saw it in the Netherlands.
I didn't know when it was coming out anywhere except for in Holland. So I actually went to Amsterdam to watch it specifically, and I flew home the same day.
But you wouldn't come to London to see in front of your face.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I am a bigger Harmony Korine fan than I am a Hong Sang-soo fan, I would say. And also, I had free time then. I don't have time anymore. And also, it's cheaper to fly to Holland than it is to bloody get to London on a train. It didn't cost me more than 40 quid to get to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Anyway.
And to be fair, it's a very good movie to watch if you're inebriated or stoned. Another great point. It's a stoner movie. It's a stoner movie that works both sober and under the influence of your
There's a lot of Korine talk now. Chika says Trash Humpers is my favorite Korine. There's something so pure about it. Trash Humpers is fucking amazingly weird. I love it.
Yeah. Where's the criterion? Where the fuck is the criterion of that?
Like Trash Humpers, right? So Harmony Korine never wanted to like release it officially. He was basically planning on leaving VHSs of this movie in like thrift stores and charity shops and stuff. And then people would find it. But because he found out that because he would just put them on blank VHSs, he would actually lose the film rights to the movies. So he never actually released it in the way that he wanted to. So it just came out, and I think there's only DVDs of it, right? I don't even know if it ever had a cinema release. But yeah, Dutch film buff, never been a Korine fan, kind of like Gummo back in the day. Spring Breakers is a masterpiece.
Absolutely. The best satire of the 2010s. I still stand by that.
Jimmy D Bags, it had some good scenes though. Zac Efron was so corny. I understand that it's allegoric though with society, etc. What else have we got? Thorin Oakenshield. I wish somebody talks about Benedetta today. I don't think enough people have seen Benedetta, but I dug it. It's not Verhoeven's best, but it's good.
Benedetta, like the sounds in Benedetta will never escape my mind. I think whoever did the Foley work or like the sound work on that movie, they had a lot of fun, I'm sure.
You'll never look at a crucifix the same way again, either.
Or Jesus.
Or Jesus. As a fan of dolphins, it works too, says the guy.
It does. It does.
Chiggers,
Those dolphins had teeth.
Corin is apparently a big Leos Carax fan. He is indeed. He appeared in a documentary about Carax called Mr. X. That is correct. Jimmy D Bags. Kids is underrated too. Larry Clark, Hamney Crane, Colabo. Yeah, it's dodgy.
Yeah.
That movie's dodgy as fuck when you think about it, though. But yeah.
I mean, Kareem wrote it when he was like 17.
Yeah. And then didn't he steal like money from Meryl Streep's purse?
Yeah, during Letterman.
Yeah, so he
and-
got banned from David Letterman because he was stealing from Meryl Streep.
But that was after he made
Kareem
Gummo.
was.
That was after he made Gummo.
Yeah,
It was like 2000 something, I think.
that guy.
Wow.
Carax I like, says Dutchville. Who doesn't love Carax? Into the Blue, the Corin No Way on YouTube documentary is so good. Hanging around filming locations. Yeah, that's
Is
like
it the one where they like on a shooting range?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got? I liked it bit where McConaughey was in the pool underwater with his hands sticking out so his joint didn't get wet.
Yeah, and Margaritland plays. Jimmy Buffett's Margaritland plays during that sequence. It's amazing.
Yeah. Shame it's Gummo is Corin's masterpiece. Shame it's not got a good blue. It hasn't got one, has it? Dutch film of cool. Mavwa Sang is my favorite of his. Love on running and dancing on the Bowie is priceless. I gotta say, Lovers on the Bridge is my favorite still. But yeah. Oh, I didn't see that we got a bot. Naked HD XYZ online.
Yeah, I just saw him quite late, but I put him on a timeout.
That was me promoting my OnlyFans, but Rose blocked me.
Have you got like a holiday special or something like that? $5 for 5 minutes, or something like that.
I mean, I gotta support sex workers. I'm a progressive, so we gotta do that.
I'm gonna have to pay for it through my secret bank account, so nobody sees it. I don't want my accountant seeing I'm buying Eric's OnlyFans account.
Crazy, this never happens on any other stream, but I guess it's the subject matter.
Well, the minute, yeah. Well,
Did you put like tags like boobs, nudity, like
nuns, boobs,
damn the algorithm,
cows?
Cows.
Right. So, Peter, what is your choice? See, I'm on board with this.
Oh,
I
I'm still waiting for you to mess up. Right. My next choice was actually mentioned about 10 minutes ago. I was like, oh god, don't talk about this too much.
Oh no!
But it wasn't a choice, but it was mentioned. It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Was that on the list?
It was in my honorable mentions. Yes, it was.
Yeah. This is ace. I actually like this one better than the first one, even though everyone loves the first one. I think this is just so funny and hilarious, and just deranged. It's like it's one of those films you can't actually articulate why you defend it so much. It's just like, this is genius. This is so funny. Like a yuppie's getting killed by a chainsaw in the first 5 minutes as they're driving too fast. That's genius. And then just the whole idea of these cannibals being, capitalists who sell people bits of body parts to people for profit, and then they've got this massive. They put all the money into this massive underground tunnel system where they can torture people, and it's just like it's so brutal about capitalism and how deranged it is, but it's also funny as hell. Even Dennis Hopper with his twin chainsaws try to take them down, so it just takes the piss out of the heroic character, and it's just so bloody and so horrific, and it doesn't even care at pace because it has them running around this whole area for ages, and that's not even talking about some of the characters. Like Bill Moseley character, how bizarre he is. It's just genius. It's insane. Plus, Leatherface and Love. I mean, it's just full of stuff. Why wouldn't you want to see this? And it's like, this is you can just stop Texas Chainsaw Massacre films after this one because it's like you're never getting as good as these first two.
I really liked it too.
That's a fantastic choice.
Yeah.
I really like this movie. Honestly, like the entire Texas Chainsaw franchise is such a fascinating like Hollywood studio productions. Like it's crazy. Like they were made by like 6 different studios throughout the years. Like you can't ever have a box set of those movies because the rights are so fucked.
I love New Generation. That's the one.
Yeah,
That,
I do
Oh,
too. That's really fun.
That's fun.
it's so like, yeah, McConaughey is just even fuck. If you were just like probably like one of his like first like notable roles, and then you think to yourself, you look at that performance, like that guy's going to win an Oscar in like 20 years time, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
It's crazy. No, it's
mean,
one of the weirdest franchises, but I actually quite like it as a franchise as well.
It is so different. Like every single entry is so different. I feel like that's the cool part. They even like did a new French Extremity movie with Leatherface from the directors who did Inside, which I mean, I wasn't a big fan of it, but like, sure, go for it. You know, it's like do the weirdest shit possible with this.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw 3D is hilarious.
Yeah.
I
I
actually
like
had
the
a lot
beginning
of fun with
because
them.
it was so violent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the beginning is
Yeah.
great. The beginning is really good.
Yeah.
Like the whole Vietnam War aspect of it as well. Like sure, it's tacked on to kind of please the fans of the original, but it feels organic.
Mhm.
Like
I still remember renting Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, the 2003 one when it came out, like on DVD. I remember one summer, me and all my friends, we watched it, like, and then a lot of my friends started to get girlfriends, and I was like being a fifth wheel and all that, you know, standard kind of thing.
Yeah.
And everybody just got freaked out watching this movie, and then I started watching all of them. But I still remember watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 the first time, and I was just like, I really didn't like it. And then, like, the older I got and the more bitter I became, the more I enjoyed it. But yeah, it's up there. I really like Dennis Hopper is just like anything you put him in, it's just like entertainment. You know you're gonna get something out of him. But fucking hell. Yeah.
the final shot of that film, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, is genius. I think Peter is bang on with this. Like, oh my god. It's like the craziest movie. And like to have something like that as a direct sequel. How?
Yeah.
It's still a mystery.
It's an MGM title, right?
It was a Canon film. Canon made this.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. That's a big feather in their cap, baby.
There was a deal they had with Toe Pooper, did Life Force and a film next door. And then they did Invaders from Mars and did this. And they all bombed horribly.
And I like all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bizarre. The bizarre story is that apparently Spielberg loves Texas too. He told Dennis Hopper that, and Dennis Hopper was horrified.
Oh man.
Maybe you should write a book about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Pete.
It's a weird subject. It's one of those ones that you watch. I
it.
don't get this film at all, but I love it. It's just like I don't understand it, but I love it. It's like something. It's just the whole idea of the special sauce, watching a special sauce, just like the McDonald's thing, but it's people.
It really shouldn't work, but it just does. You know?
Yeah, totally.
Nice choice.
Kind of like Southland Tales.
Well, yeah. Mr. Huss, what's your third choice?
Okay, my third choice. I am going for 13 Steps of Maki, the Young Aristocrats. This stars Etsuko Shihomi. Most people will know her from Sister Street Fighter. I think she's better in this, in my opinion. Maybe might be a controversial opinion. She plays the leader of a gang, and one of her rival gangs is like funded by a tourism company, which are involved with the Yakuza, and the executive somehow sets her up to go to prison. So she gets put in prison where she fights it out to become like one of the top girls in the prison, until one of the executive's daughter is forced to getting married to the Yakuza boss, and it just completely switches over the movie. It's a really fun movie. It's great martial arts. Sonny Chiba's in there as well. He has a little cameo in the movie. Obviously, he plays Maki's sister. Yeah, a really fun movie. Great martial arts, great action in there. Yeah, like I said, I think Shihomi is better in this than she is in Sister Street Fighter, and I love Sister Street Fighter. Yeah, I don't know. Eric, have you seen this?
I don't think I've even heard of it.
Wow.
This is one of those ones that immediately goes into watch list.
Yeah. It's a real fun movie. I think she was like one of the big Japanese stars of the 70s. I mean, she was one of the female like big ones of that era, because you had like I said, Meiko Kaji and a few others who I'll probably mention at some point as well. But yeah, a real fun movie. Great, really good martial arts in it. It's definitely up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Again, it's always a learning curve here.
Mm-hmm.
Even for Eric today, I was like, Eric, have you seen
I'm surprised
this?
Eric's not seen it.
No.
Okay. Damn. Okay, where else am I on now?
I just bought Robotrix. I was actually on iTunes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Robotrix is still at the top of, well, that and the Terminator film. Those
Yeah,
are like
Lady Terminator's no joke.
I'm telling you, it's my Christmas Day movie.
Yeah. It was just when I was thinking about it, then just thinking about what Eric said about it, I was like, yeah, I've got to watch this. I've got to see this. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Okay, Eric, what's your next choice?
All right. So this one, we were just talking about Edvig Fenech, and I got a giallo film with Edvig Fenech, of course. And this is one of the trashier ones. It's called Strip Nude for Your Killer from 1975. Those tricky Italians. So after a fashion model's death is covered up, her fellow models get murdered one by one. And this movie, like the thing with this movie is that it's intentionally comical. It has like a humorous undercurrent, because some of the lines in this movie are so ridiculous, but they're played kind of for laughs. Like this guy's like, fooling around with his lady friend, and he says, "Hey, baby, did I ever tell you look terrible with clothes on?" You know what I mean? Like there's like lines of dialogue like this in the film, or this one guy's walking with his girl, and he's like, "Oh, wait, is that your new car or whatever?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, yeah, a woman definitely parks like that." Like they just go all in on this, and it's hilarious. But it's like there's a like the killer obviously is going around. In this one, it's a little different. A lot of time in giallo films, they wear like the hat and the black stuff, but this one, it's a biker like outfit, but it's all like black leather biker with the helmet, and the killer goes around stabbing people, and the death scenes are pretty good. The death scenes are good, and it's nicely stylish, good use of color at times, but it's like it has a certain element of trashiness to it that even is elevated more than a typical giallo film, but it's so much fun to watch. And you have Edvig Fenech, as like the lead actress in the film. She's always fun as well. So this one, I would say it's like, if you want a giallo that's like really over the top in how the men treat the women, and also uses it as like an element of humor in the film, this is one to check out. It's good.
I have a question. Can you please explain this still I've just seen now? But it's a fat guy in some chonies holding a blow-up doll and a knife. Like,
Yeah.
Please put it into context, Eric.
So that scene, he well, of course, he tries to coerce a woman to sleep with him because he's like a movie maker, like producer guy.
Of course he is.
And the woman eventually says yes, and he can't perform because he's so pathetic. So she leaves, and then he gets his blow up doll, and he holds the blow up doll and says, "You're the only one that I really love."
Oh god.
There's another still that I've seen with a guy that's upside down.
Upside down. I'm trying to think of which shot it was. I don't know.
Oh, it's weird. Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, that killer looks really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Something happened there.
Eh?
I just lost everybody there for a second.
Everybody's going out today. Everybody's going off grid. It'll be fine. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I didn't. Is I can't. Oh, what was the other film you made? Is it Beyond? No. Burial Ground movie. What is it called?
Oh, I saw it ages ago.
Yeah, I can see the poster, but I forgot now. Anyway, yeah. Interesting choice. The minute I saw the fat guy with the tighty whities, I was just like, okay. Fuck. Like classic 70s cinema,
Yeah.
the pathetic fat filmmaker.
Yeah.
I can empathize with that. Anyway,
That film's actually on Amazon Prime at the moment for
is it?
free.
Oh wow!
Throw it into the festivities. Right. So round 4, Mr. Krause.
Okay, so I gotta have like a weird Japanese movie in this, right? So for a weird Japanese movie, and you've all seen it, you all know it, Tokyo Gore Police, of course.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Of course it's Tokyo Gore Police. Yeah, you all know what this is. It's a Verhoeven Japanese story of this dystopian Tokyo where police force has been privatized, everything is corporate, and there's this girl who sets out on a revenge path to avenge the assassination of her father. Amid all that, there's it's not an invasion, it's like there's like a squad of these like elite forces who are essentially like weird aliens called engineers who can do absolutely anything and create like weapons out of the the lead's, I guess, tendency to self-harm, her struggles with with self-harm. I just think it's amazing. I just think the whole the violence is hyper stylized to the point where it does not feel gratuitous. Like obviously it is gratuitous, but it does not strike you as like cruel or weird or is it based on a manga? Because it feels like it is based on something.
I don't think it is. But I know he did Anatomy of Extinction prior to this, which was a mid-length movie where he used the concept of the engineers. Some of the scenes are recreated in Tokyo Gore Police, but it's a lot more. I think the original is a bit more political. I would say it's about the whole more about capitalism, because it goes more into like the whole privatization of the police, and you constantly hearing these statistics being put on a tannoy in cities of like murders, kills throughout the whole film. It's very nihilistic, the original, and then it went a bit more outrageous with Tokyo Gore Police.
I mean, for me, it struck that fine balance of Starship Troopers, and I feel like it owes a lot to Starship Troopers. The fact that you have these like fake infomercials throughout the film, kind of fake ads, it feels very much like a Paul Verhoeven influence on this. It's just a fun movie, and I feel like the way it handles like self-harm and revenge in particular it's a very interesting. Like it did not feel like overly exploitative. I feel like as usually like exploitation cinema tends to, follow the rules. Here it feels more like there's an actual revenge path. There's an actual character, not just like a figure, like a hypersexualized girl who just slaughters people for no reason. Even though she kind of does, and she is hypersexualized, but it struck me as like this unique hybridity.
Yeah, I love the movie. I absolutely. Every time I watch it, it does the job. It entertains me. It wants me coming back for more, and I do come back for more every time I watch it.
I think it's the best of its kind. If you consider like the newer Japanese gore action comedy type stuff,
Couldn't agree.
I think
more.
it's the best one.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
You could just easily just put it on more than once. Like it's just, I think the rewatchability of it is just actually quite good.
I remember when they came out with like that 5-minute trailer for this thing, and my mind was just exploding. I could not wait to watch this movie.
Yeah,
and it's like even like the CG does not feel like that horrible because it's mostly practical.
Yeah,
like most of the gore in this is practical. So the effort that was put into this, like the effort alone on the prosthetics and the practical effects of the gore is just fantastic. To have something like this, post New Millennium, like post 2000s, amazing. I love it.
Yeah,
I love that whole run of the Japanese gore films. That period, they're just so much fun.
Yeah. It was a great time.
It is very rewatchable. I think Dion kind of is bang on in this. It's like it is a very rewatchable movie.
Even the soundtrack is good. The music's good too. Like
That's I think we can all agree on that one. There's
Yeah.
a lot of love for it here. Jimmy D-Bags is asking, Tony London's Serial Killer was pretty good low budget. If anyone's seen that one, it's available on YouTube. Not even Peter. I'm disappointed in you. Carl's picked the film. We'll say Carl's first before we carry on. My fourth pick would be Zombie Flesh Eaters. First watch it on a dodgy copy on VHS being handed around in school. That's amazing. First video nasty I got my hands on. This is my Dawn of the Dead. Oh, and the Zombie versus Shark.
Yeah. Zombie 3 is good too. Stupid, but man, is it entertaining.
Yeah. I did expect Zombie 3 to be that stupid. You expect things like kind of the ante, but the dumbness of that just, I don't know. It's like it's like a brother and a sister had a child, and then it just became really stupid. It's the best way I can go with it. But,
I saw it in a similar way to Carl. I actually saw it in a friend when I was about 10, and it was like this notorious film, and they used it over to his house with his zombie flesh eaters, and I was like, okay.
Amazing.
Wait, have any of you seen this?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I really want to watch this.
That's a good flick. Definitely. It's more I guess I would say quality and like kind of like creepy and just a well-made flick.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think the other title is Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. So
interesting. Wow.
What else we got? Jimmy Bear, Cannibal Holocaust is the big OG nasty. Can't go wrong with the Cannibal Holocaust. Remember when Eli Roth thought that, was it Green? What was it called again?
Green Inferno.
Green Inferno was going to be like the next big like cannibal movie, and it just failed abysmally. Do you remember that guy just like jerks off randomly?
Jerking off, yeah.
What does he say again when he like starts beating the meat? I forgot now.
I mean, he was like, "Oh, it's a nervous situation. I gotta relieve the stress."
Well, we've all been there,
Yeah. Just in the middle of like the Amazon rainforest. This is like, I'm gonna die.
I mean, the dude the guy made Cabin Fever. What do you expect?
Yeah.
True, but I don't know. Do you know when he's just sitting there and he just, it's flowing okay, and then this guy is just, playing with his one-eyed snake. You know,
But you're talking about the same movie where a girl takes a shit right there, and then another scene where they stuff a dead body full of weed so the cannibals can get high.
It's so stupid. It's so like genuinely. But you know, like for me, it was just like when he was selling this movie and like doing the press for it, it was like, oh, trying to be so like, oh, I'm the greatest thing ever, and you just watch it. It's just like, no. That's his problem. Is like he wants to be like a Fulci, he wants to be like an Argento, but he's just like, I think his ego is just too large.
Yeah.
But like, one of his favorite films is Bloodsucking Freaks. If that's one of your favorite films, I mean, like, what kind of movie you're gonna make. Like, we all know what to expect from you at this point.
Yeah, but it's just like probably like Knock Knock is the most fun I've had with like an Eli Roth film. I just think Keanu is amazing in that film.
That movie's a blast.
Yeah,
I love that movie, and it's like it's a very kind of weird, like it's a weird commentary as well. Like the way he kind of frames this entire ordeal is very interesting.
It's like one of Ana de Armas's first ever movies as well, right?
Yeah, it was
crazy.
I remember like Green Inferno and Knock Knock came out like within months of each other because Green Inferno wasn't like it didn't have any distribution. So I think Blumhouse picked it up and they're like, "Fuck it, let's release it."
Oh man, I still remember going to see Knock Knock, and there was like me and two like other middle-aged men just sitting there by ourselves, like
God,
on a Friday afternoon, and I was just like, yeah, this is fun.
I had walkouts during that film. I saw it at the cinemas. Yeah. Like I think at least 5 people, like couples, definitely walked out.
It's definitely not a couples movie.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I've had 2 walkouts ever. And one was the funeral in Las Vegas, and there was only like 5 people in the audience, and 2 of them walked out when the vomiting started. So it was like, no, fair enough. And another one was a Baby of Macon, this Peter Greenaway film, where a baby gets killed halfway through and cut up, and half the audience just went out straight away. It was just like, nope.
I've seen so many walkouts in movies, like like a lot of Tarantino movies. I've seen walkouts in. Like when I went to see Titan in London, so many walkouts in that one.
Really?
Oh yeah, loads. But the one that always sticks in my head is when I went to Venice and I saw the animated Hong Kong movie called Number 7 Cherry Tree Lane.
Yeah, that's shit.
Literally, the amount of people that were walking out in it. When you go to Venice, there's like I think about 5,000 people in the cinema, and like literally within 10 minutes there was like 100 gone. And then like as it just carried on, I like stayed until about halfway through the movie. I can't tolerate this anymore. And it was just like continuous barrage of people walking out. That's the only time I've ever seen mass walkouts. Because the film was that terrible.
It was a pile of shit. I saw it at London East Asian Film Festival. I really didn't like it. You know
the sex scene in the forest, like the animated one, and then like the faces change, so it's like a cat, and then it's like a bird, and I was just like, what the fuck am I watching? It was just garbage. Anyway,
I saw Bad Like Banging like 2 months ago. Bad Like Banging, or Looney Porn to be exact. I saw it at a multiplex screening, and there were people who I presume they went in expecting like a comedy, like a sex comedy maybe. Because at least 8 people walked out. I think by the end, it was 3 people who were left in the audience. It was me, one other lady, and some other guy, and that's it. That's like the entire multiplex screen just gone by the end of the film.
Genuinely, if you watch that, like the only way I can pitch this film for anybody to watch it, I would just say is Death by Dildo.
Death by Dildo.
That's all. That's all.
But like it takes 1 hour and 50.
It takes a while to get
to that.
Yeah, it's like there's actual penetrative sex at the beginning of the film because they make a porno, and then it becomes something completely different. It's like a giant video essay, and then there's like a boomerang court scene, and then Death by Dildo.
The second part of the film is fantastic. It's really funny. Like even like the entire like alphabet thing, it's hilarious. Climate change, and it's like fucking tons of waste.
Yeah, it was really weird, but it's a good film. But I think Jimmy D Bags has said it quite well. Eli Roth is like Michael Bay of the horror community.
Hell yeah, and I love Michael Bay. So like, you know.
I can't believe Jake Gyllenhaal's making a movie. Well, has a movie coming out from Michael Bay next year.
I'm
as well.
so stoked for that. I'm so fucking stoked. Like, I cannot wait.
Dutch Vilbub had that same experience with Tree of Life. 5 out of 10 people walked out during the creation scene, and that's not a trashy movie. Yeah, it's weird. I think it's some people just expect things to be very different. Like literally, I went to watch Noah, the Darren Aronofsky movie, and because Emma Watson was in it, there was like loads of Emma Watson fans there, and they were like, "What the fuck? Like angels that are like rock monsters." And it's like, where's Hermione, like, you know, doing Wingardium Leviosa and all that kind of stuff. So it was.
They were picturing Noah's Ark from when they were kids and they used to read the books.
Basically, that's what everybody expected.
All the animals. And then you got Ray Winston eating a lizard.
Yeah.
I think they were expecting like Evan Almighty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the Sunday school taking their kids to go see the Aronofsky Noah?
Yeah.
Or even Mother. Imagine you took a Sunday school to see Mother.
To watch that still.
I mean, they force people to watch Passion of the Christ. Like, kids are already traumatized enough.
Yeah.
I remember when that was, Fuck, man.
Poor kids, man.
Right, where are we? Peter, what is your fourth choice?
Well, I had to change my fourth choice because I was going to do a Giallo, but Eric got one. It was a famous Giallo. I was going to go for Your Vice is the there's a lot with Manuel Key, so I thought, okay, I'll find something else than that because it's been covered.
We could just load up on Giallos, man.
That's okay. I've got another one that actually was almost similar that I could switch around. It's a film called Scream and Scream Again from the 70s. It stars Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, and you know, it's really weird. It's a film that the producer kind of disowned because he's thinking, I don't get this. This is weird. What's going on? And they just let the writer and director just do what the hell they wanted, and they just made this weird film about fascism and like authoritarianism with like Vincent Price and stuff. So as a guy wakes up and he finds body parts missing, some of his body parts are missing, and he's like, what the hell's happened? Then there's another plot about our authoritarian government. Then there's another plot about mad scientists, played by Vincent Price, and all these plots start to intermingle, like fascist government, body parts, mad scientists, and it's crazy. And there's lots of chase scenes, and it's bizarre, and it's very 70s, and it's weird as hell, and it ends up being really satisfying, even though it's a film that should never make any sense whatsoever. It's kind of almost like the 70s version of Texas Chainsaw 2, in the sense that it's utterly insane, but it just works.
I need to watch this movie like tomorrow.
It's insane. It really is insane, and it is weird because you can feel like they were shooting stuff, and the first section, not everything matches up in a way that's kind of satisfying, but it builds and builds to something, and it's just weird because things do pay off, but it's like it does feel like 2 or 3 different films smashed together to start with, and they're just these people losing body parts all over the place in a very 70s way, and it's just odd. It's really odd. And it's pure exploitation because it was obviously made. We've got a couple of stars, so we've got the poster, and just do whatever the hell you want. And they just did what the hell they wanted. It was written by Christopher Wickland, who did a lot of Hammer stuff and a lot of 70s horror. And he did stuff like Demons of the Mind and Blood from Mummy's Tomb. Just a bunch of weirdo films. He did the weirdo, like 70s British movies. And yeah, it's very strange, but I think it's wonderful, but it is really weird and pure exploitation.
I've been watching a ton of movies with those actors the past few years, and I missed this one. I think it was on like my list of things to watch for October, but I didn't get to it.
It's insane. It's wonderful. It's one of my favorites. It's just, it's weird because the first time you watch it, you're like, what the hell is this? What is going on? You know,
where is it available on?
It's
gotta be streaming somewhere, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a streaming. I got it on. I think you can get it on Amazon. And I think you can. I'm pretty sure I've got it on Amazon. or iTunes, and I've got you can get it in Region 1 DVD quite easily because it's available. Because I've had that for years, but I got the streaming eventually because it was HD. But yeah, it's one of those ones. If you look for it, it's always there. It's just you need to look for it, but it is weird. It's really weird.
I like weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. Like, this is what the stream is for.
Still no weeping cow though.
Thank God.
I feel like that can never be topped. Like genuinely, like the more I think about it, it's just the legacy that film has had within our little community and the discourse that it has provided. You know, and it's not just on YouTube. You know, people have mentioned it on Twitter a few times.
Yeah.
You know, or on Facebook or on Instagram. You know, I'm just like, you know, Eric did there. You know,
it's,
I think it was mentioned in the chat first, though.
Yeah, was it? Okay. Oh, yeah, it
so.
was, right? Yeah.
Have you reviewed it yet, Eric?
No, I don't think I'm gonna review that one.
I have.
You're gonna get like 100K views. Like, I'll boost your boost.
Yeah.
Well, buy bots.
Shit.
Well, buy bots.
Maybe you should do it as like a milestone, like, you know, when you get like to 9K or something.
Yeah.
You should be like, and then do a giveaway of the new DVD.
Ooh, you know what I could do is do a dual review with the story of the Weeping Camel, which is actually a good Mongolian drama, and I'll do that story of the Weeping Camel and the Lonely Cow Weeps at Dawn.
Thank God it's not a sequel.
Oh man,
it's just done in the desert.
Huss, you told me like the video was demonetized immediately, right?
Yeah, it was demonetized, then remonetized. Luckily it's monetized at the moment, but it keeps switching on and off now and again.
Who are the cops who keep reporting it to YouTube? Those people hate fun. Those people are.
Those people just don't understand true conversation, you know. Dutch film buff, maybe controversial choice, but perhaps the best exploitation movie ever made is Pasolini's Sallow. This one also has real substance. I think Sallow's been talked about, right? I'm sure the last time we talked.
I don't think we've ever spoken about it in our chat, have we?
Isn't it your most viewed video on YouTube here?
Oh yeah, by a mile.
Is it like 90 odd K or more?
I think it's less than 90, but it's a lot. It's one of those ones. But it's also the ones I get the most sarcastic comments in the commentary thing as well, because of people like, how do you cover this and stuff like that. I've had to delete a few of them. It's just like, no, you're weird.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I don't understand. It's like
80,000, 80K.
Wow. I don't keep up in these things, so I just don't look. So, yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of perverts around who actually, that's the one thing to watch of mine.
Yeah.
The other one I got a lot of views was for a film called The Untamed, because I put in the cover, there's a lot of sex scenes in this film on the cover. You know, I think people thought that that was actually in the video, and it wasn't.
Did you get angry comments like,
"Why are you not naked?"
Yeah, I don't. I think people just give up in disgust and realize it's just me talking about it, and I was like, "Nah, fine."
Dutch Film Buff also asked, has anybody seen a movie called Adio Zio Tom? Some of you guys ever seen that one? I have not, actually. I'll have a look. This better not take me to fucking...
Oh, it's Goodbye Uncle Tom, right? That's what this is.
Yeah, Goodbye Uncle Tom, 1971 documentary.
Yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah.
Okay. No. Docudrama. What the fuck? Oh, I see. Damn. Of course it's Italian.
Yeah.
So, a film based on true events which filmmakers explore antebellum America using period documents to examine graphic details of racist ideology and degrading conditions faced by Africans under slavery. Because of the use of published documents and materials of the public record, the film labels itself as a documentary, though all footage is restaged using actors. What the fuck?
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
I saw clips from that film and just like immediately I was like, yeah, I need to be in a very specific mood to put myself through something like this.
Yeah, I would. I don't even if I got paid to write an essay or something about it, I would be just like, fuck.
Yeah, it's just like too mentally taxing to just like.
Yeah, that definitely feels. Just even looking at the images, I was just like. Anyway. Jimmy D Bags, really want to see Petit Maman at the moment. Heard a lot of normies walked out of a surprise screening of that film recently because it was subtitled. Yes, yes, you are correct. People walked out. It's funny. People do not want to see French films about kids. It's very
Such
good.
a wonderful film. Such a wonderful
Yeah,
film.
because it was free to everyone, but it was just secret. Like they're going to the cinema, they don't know what they're going to go see. What was everyone thinking they were going to see? Like,
That happened to me once.
Spider-Man.
That happened to me once.
Really?
Remember the After Dark horror films they had back in the 2000s? After Dark 8 Films to Die For.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah,
and they would showcase the films like just on one time slot over the weekend, like all 8 of them or whatever. And I went to see the Japanese film Reincarnation by Takashi Shimizu. And I don't think anybody knew like it was going to be like subtitled or anything. They just went to see the After Dark Horror Fest and the theater was packed. And then the subtitles came up and I heard moaning and groaning, but no one left. And they ended up enjoying it, I think. So I'll never forget that one.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good that they didn't leave. Like, at least they gave it a chance.
They're all a bunch of kids, like teenagers and college kids
crazy,
too.
Right?
Wait, that was the same year what they did Husk, right? That movie about
Possibly.
like a scarecrow, I think. I remember that one. I remember seeing that one. That's actually not terrible.
It's like we have this conversation with tonight. It just baffles me, like subtitles with people. Anyway, like I recently taught a film school for a week, and I had a couple of like film students who were 17, and they told me that their teacher like told them to avoid foreign language cinema, and I was like, what the fuck? So like literally I like changed one of my classes specifically to teach them like as much as I could in 90 minutes about foreign language cinema, because I was just like, you can like this dude can go fuck himself. Like literally they were telling me like he references Guy Ritchie movies in classes, and that's kind of it. Yeah. Like when he tries to like explain something, he uses Guy Ritchie scenes to explain what like a close-up would be or like a tilt shot or whatever, and I'm just like,
Did you use Madonna film? Did you use that Madonna films? He did. That's what you should use for Guy Ritchie.
Fuck me.
I had a teacher once who was like teaching us editing, and he put the Prometheus trailer for us to re-edit. I was like, "That's a great film." He was like, "What are you like? Are you serious right now?" Like, "Yeah, I'm serious. I think it's fantastic." He was like, "Dude, I don't know who you are." I'm like,
yeah. It's crazy. Like
I'm sorry.
It's like when you go to like if you teach media, it's like some of the educators just have given up on life. Like referencing like a Guy Ritchie movie was crazy. Like literally, when I did my class, I was like, I told them about like Wong Kar-wai. I told them about like Clegg. I told them like every fucking like foreign filmmaker they could think of. Like I got them like free movie accounts for 6 months. I was just like, this is free. Like watch as much of this stuff as you can, because I was so angry by this teacher. Like I was just like, I googled him, I got his email address, I emailed him to tell him how disgusted I was with his education and like what he teaches these kids. I was so fucking angry. Yeah. Anyway.
But like, wait, like how does he impose that rule? Does he say like you cannot use anything
basically
foreign language?
Because it's about because whatever is in the curriculum is what he teaches. It doesn't matter how he references it then. That's the problem. So yeah. I was just like, yeah, I was so like, I said this to Hus a while back when it happened, and I was just so angry. Yeah. So I just like, I went on a bombardment.
It's crazy, isn't it?
But yeah.
I mean, it's good to call like people like that out for those kinds of antics, because it like the point of education is to broaden your horizons. What's the point of studying if you're gonna be so limited?
Yeah, because you'd be surprised, like, you know, with my work, like most of the time when I meet like young filmmakers, like some of them like really have not had much of an education, and it's just like I feel like sometimes it's like you have to kind of like throw a bit of extra knowledge on them to help them kind of like understand what they're doing. But it's like the UK is really terrible for media studies anyway. Like the transition from college to university is just fucking shit. But anyway, we're not here to
I
talk
mean,
about the school
if
system.
you think the UK is that bad, then like my experiences in Russia and in Germany were
Yeah.
horrible for this. Like
It's
the
only
UK,
France are the only way. They're the only good educators.
yeah.
And the thing is, when I was a student, we get stuff like Wavelength and like a lot of Russian stuff and Cuban stuff, and you'd get a lot of stuff that maybe people didn't really see, but you'd actually learn a lot from them. And it was like, that's an education. You're not there to study stuff you like. You're there to see things you've never seen before.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you have to.
Most of the brainless action movies I watched are foreign language films.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's subtitles now. I just like I watched the film and my brain just watches the subtitles. I don't really think about it.
It's like really kicked off with like people watching Squid Game dubbed, and I'm just like, well, you kind of lose the whole essence of it. Like,
yeah, I never knew this was an issue until Parasite came out, and when Parasite came out and people start saying I can't watch it, it's got subtitles. I was like, wait, what? I didn't even think that was an issue with anyone. Like,
yeah.
I read books, not movies.
Oh,
God, read books.
I legit had that. Like, I legit had a person. I was buying a ticket for a movie, and I said like explicitly, I want to see it original version, not dubbed, because in Russia all of the movies are dubbed. And I was like, for the original version. And these girls behind me, they're like, "Dude, what are you? Are you here to read?"
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what?
Duh.
What the fuck what kind of question is that?
It's crazy.
It's lazy.
Blows my mind.
Laziness.
Yeah.
No. People, I don't know. People will understand one day that they've missed out on a lot of good stuff, but you know.
Yeah.
But how was Host? Like, Host was such a box office hit, right? Like the Bong Joon-ho film, and that was subtitled.
I think there was a dubbed version. There was a dubbed
version. Makes sense then.
I remember buying the Steelbook helicopter. Did anyone hear that helicopter?
No.
Yeah. Well, there's a British Steelbook of it, and I went to put it on, thinking straight away it's going to be subtitles. Default, it was dubbed by default on the disc, so you had to go back into the menu to turn it into the Korean language with the subtitles.
Wow.
So I think a lot of people have seen it dubbed.
Yeah, Crouching Tiger was the same way. You have to switch to the foreign language one to put subtitles on.
Was House of the Flying Daggers dubbed as well? Because that seemed like a big cultural moment. Like The Hero and House of the Flying Daggers, those were like big movies at the time.
I'm pretty sure Hero was subtitled in my country.
Yeah, it was subtitled in the UK. Kung Fu Hustle was dubbed by default.
Crashing Tiger, Hidden Dragon, was that?
That was dubbed.
Yeah, definitely dubbed. Yeah.
So you had to go into the menu and switch it to subtitle. Madness.
Wow. You don't really get that anymore, right? Like, you don't really get like dubbed Asian movies these days, I think.
You still get the Ghibli ones,
except for anime.
I mean, when you get the 88 films, all the kung fu films, they come with the dub track as well. I mean, I can understand why anyone watching dubbed, because I think most people that have seen these films when they grew up, they watched it on VHS, and they only came dubbed. Yeah, it's nostalgia. I mean, I still watch some of them dubbed because
I always watch Riccio dubbed.
Yeah.
Always.
So it's part of like how I remember them as a child. So because it was my entry point into Asian cinema. Was it yours as well, Eric? Like martial arts, kung fu films was an entry point.
For me, it was Godzilla, and that was basically maybe Bruce Lee movies, and that was it. I didn't watch any Asian cinema really when I was younger.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was I got a Bruce Lee VHS, and it was fully in English. I actually thought it was he filmed it in English. I was a little kid. I didn't know any better. And when you hear Bruce Lee do like a spinning kick, he stands and he goes, "Mighty Dragon whips his tail." Like, and then this guy with big sunglasses goes up to him and goes, "You'll do Chinese boxing," like this. And it was like this weird dubbing, but it just looked so cool, and it was like absolutely, it just sounded so crazy. And I think that's the nostalgia with martial arts movies. But I can't watch anything else dubbed. I just think you're losing the tone, like everything behind it.
Performances, especially.
Yeah. I think the voice plays such a big role, especially like in Bruce Lee films. Like, I think there's a charm to that. Like, I'm a bit on the younger side, but I grew up with Jackie Chan films. They were like constantly on loop on TV on like primetime channels, actually, like, big, like, government regulated channels would show Jackie Chan films. He's like huge in Russia and in Germany. And it would always be dubbed. And I would watch them thinking like, okay, like and you could still hear the original track, because the dub, it's like it's not a proper dub. It's like a bootleg dub that's over the actual like audio, so you can still hear Jackie Chan's actual voice. And then this like this dub artist, he kind of puts his voice on top of that, so it creates this very weird dynamic. Makes me very nostalgic when I ever hear like Drunken Master like dubbed. Just the craziest shit.
That sounds mad. Yeah, Jackie Chan speaking 2 languages at the same time.
Yeah.
Magic. Right, shall we carry on with our lists? Otherwise, it'll be Christmas by the time we finish this. Huss is next.
Okay, next one I am going for Criminal Woman Killing Melody. Another Reiko Ike film. I've already spoken about her. This time it also stars Miki Sugimoto. Now, Ike plays this young girl. Her father is forced into selling drugs and by the Yakuza, and her father, the Yakuza turn on her father. They overdose him with drugs. They forcefully overdose him, and then they rape her. So she goes out for revenge to go kill the Yakuza boss, and as she does so, she's arrested and put in prison. And she meets other criminals who are in there for pickpocketing or fighting, all different things, or like driving a motorbike, like speeding down the street, and just doesn't care about the police. She meets these young girls. They build a bond, and then when they come to leaving prison, she goes on this mission to just turn the Yakuza against each other. So they end up killing each other. It's like really intricate how she does it, and she gets the help of the girls that she met in prison. It's a fun like action movie. A lot of like naughty scenes in there, but yeah, absolutely fun movie. Yeah, definitely worth checking out, guys. I think there's a UK DVD of it or US DVD.
I think it came out in a box set.
Yes.
It was in that Pinky Violence box set, I think.
There was.
Yeah, I remember it being good. A lot of the action, again, backloaded to the second half, but it's entertaining and sufficiently exploitative.
Yeah. I mean, she was like I said previously, she was a really great actress. It's just unfortunate her private life just sort of like interfered with her career, or else she would have been bigger than Michael Kaji. Michael Kaji, I think, in my opinion. But it's a shame that we, not saying I don't like Michael Kaji, but we would have had more releases and probably more Blu-ray releases over here or DVD with more films. Yeah.
Not actually heard of that one either. But
I mean, Sugimoto, she was also another exploitation actress. She did loads of movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think was she in Zero Woman Red Handcuffs? I think.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah, because that was a great movie as well.
Yeah, it was. It was a great movie.
Mm.
oh damn.
But those Pinky Violence movies are just so much fun. Yeah.
So like the violence to like the whole like revenge subplot in this, right? The revenge narrative. Like it's is it enough to justify like the whole rape angle of it and everything? Like does it feel like you get like the whole idea of like with rape revenge films, it's always like, is it equal? That's like, do you feel like that rush when she kills all these dudes,
Yeah,
it's that kind of.
Oh yeah, the way she, like when the bosses start killing each other because she's stirred the pot and like turn them against each other to literally just wipe out 2 Yakuza families. It's just it is really satisfying.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, but I recommend any of her movies. Yeah.
Eric, what's your next choice?
Zero Woman, Red Handcuffs, 1974. That's why I was acting a little cheeky at you, Huss. It was a little cheeky because you mentioned my movie.
Oh, apologies.
This is 1974, and Miki Sugimoto is in it, and she's a cop, and she's a pretty hardcore cop here. At the beginning of the film, the opening 10 minutes, like she basically goes undercover and meets this like foreign, he's like some dignitary or politician or something like that, embassy worker, and he's like a killer, and she takes care of business within the opening 10 minutes of this movie. And unfortunately, she gets into trouble because it was a little bit of excessive force, I suppose, and so she gets thrown in prison, right? But there's a rich politician's daughter gets kidnapped by a ruthless gang. And so they're like, hey, listen, she's Agent Zero, right? And they said, okay, go undercover, try to find these guys, go undercover and save the politician's daughter. So that's the concept of the film. And her weapon are like these extremely long red handcuffs that she somehow uses to fight against dudes, which is pretty cool. And this movie, I like this movie a lot because it's pretty freaking violent at times. You get, the opening scene in and of itself, and then you get like a big, like violent cops versus bad guys shootout at the end of the film. And then, but it's not really, it's definitely an action thriller. It's not like a horror or anything. But the reason why it's exploitative is because even our lead character, this woman, when she finds this gang, which is actually kind of easy how she finds them, and then she kind of goes undercover and kind of gets recruited by them until she has a chance to spring the hostage. So while she's in there's a lot of dodgy stuff that goes on, in their hideout and stuff. So that's why it gets kind of dodgy, but very fast paced. It's like 88 minutes long or something, 85 minutes long. Every 10 minutes, something bad is happening to somebody. So it's just good, like fast paced. I would say it's almost like a female prisoner Scorpion film with a little bit less artistry, and the violence is ramped up. Yeah. So that's kind of the selling point for that one. I quite like this one actually.
Yeah, I absolutely adore this movie. If I could find it on like physical media at a good price, I would pick it up. 100%.
I know it was there's like a Zero Woman box set of DVDs. It might even be a bootleg. I'm not sure. And there was like 4 or 5 movies in it, and this was included in that when I got it.
He's looking already now. It's like
it might be on that Japanese Samurai DVD website. I think if I remember correctly, is where I may have gotten it.
I need to look for it.
This one deserves a Blu-ray, man. Like it's
100%.
This one definitely deserves a Blu-ray. Definitely.
Yeah, you can't find it anywhere. It's just not even like it to stream anywhere. It's just
really,
yeah. It's such a great movie. I'm so glad you put it. You mentioned it, Eric.
Mhm.
It's just, yeah. I mean,
Andre gave it 4.5. So I mean, if Andre
Yeah.
gave it 4.5,
yeah, it's definitely 4.5 for me. Yeah, it's. I love those Pinky Violence movies. I think they're just they represent Japanese like exploitation to the max. Like they were what I saw as exploitation movies was that genre of movies. I mean, most of the ones I mentioned tonight are that genre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Japan.
so would you
man.
say it's
Love it.
a? I mean, I'm a very inexperienced guy in that regard. So would you say it's a good like starting point for that period? I guess.
I would.
Yeah, it's definitely on the more violent side, so just be prepared for that. But it's very, very good, I think.
It seems like it's like it seems like it's up a notch from like your Stray Cat Rocks and stuff like that, right?
Oh yeah, I like it
Oh, yeah.
better than those.
It's like another level. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm always down for some righteous anger. You know, killing rapists.
yeah.
Hell yeah, let's go. Yeah. Sounds rad.
Yeah.
Sounds rad.
Does Sugimoto make any films anymore? Or she retired?
I'm not sure.
No, she's not made any films for ages. God.
Right. Shall we get to the last choices? So I'll just do Carl's before I lose track of the comments.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, my last pick would be a surreal fever dream, stylish, violent, sexual, and full of murder. Feels like an amazing 70s giallo. Absolutely love Let the Corpse Tan by the same directors too. Amera's an interesting one. I'm trying to figure out the exploitation of it, but
I always consider
no,
it
is
like a high end.
Yeah.
It is. It is like it is a giallo homage through and through, but you know. And Let the Corpses Tan is like a Western kind of exploitation flick, I guess. Also fits.
Good cinema, Let the Corpse Tan.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like it? I can't remember.
I'm not a big fan. I think it's alright. I mean, I like the stylization of it, and I like some of the formal choices, but I think it's just hollow.
I don't think Dave's a fan either. But Dave's not a fan of anything. Is he, Huss?
Dave's a fan of Monster Hunter. He's my man in my book, you know?
When I think of Dave's reviews, I always go back to his review of Takeshi Kitano's Dolls, where he said it was too Japanese for him.
We should get that on a t-shirt for him for next time.
Yeah.
It's too Japanese for me. Dave Clayton. What a man. He's a lot taller in life than I thought he would be.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it.
And he shaved his mustache when he met us. I was like, wow, you're a different person.
Right. Okay, there's quite a few comments here. I might just go through this one. Dutch film buff, I do like a mare, and I like Strange Color of Your Body's Tears even more. Jimmy D bags, all the normies, they thought they were going to see Ghostbusters. Probably that's basically what happened. They all thought they were going to see Ghostbusters, even though it was out on that Friday. The Ghost of Egon. Tusk also was amazing. That's a great, well-made Kevin Smith film. Lots of people got upset about that movie for some weird reason. I think Tusk is so fucking weird. Like,
yeah, the tonal balance of it is.
It doesn't feel like a Kevin Smith film either. Like,
does it?
No, I don't.
The ending, I think, does. Like the ending does. I think the first, like the build up towards it, is very different because you've seen Red State, right?
Yeah, I really like Red State.
Yeah, it's like it feels like he was firmly in Red State mode, and then kind of got sidetracked at the end. And it's like, let's go fucking shit insane. Yeah, and it's fun. It's just fun, and it's really sad as well.
Carl, I remember watching Holy Motors at the cinema, and it replaced the film. They were having technical difficulties, which was a popular opposite of Holy Motors. The amount of walkouts was hilarious. Jimmy D bags. Like my boy Bong said, people need to get over the 2-inch barrier at the bottom of the screen, and they would be opened to another realm of great Asian cinema. Everybody should get that tattooed on their butts, to be honest. Like, it's a great motto to follow. Dutch film buff. Everything is subtitled over here in the Netherlands. When I was young, we had to watch many Hong Kong films in English dub, though in VHS. Yeah, I noticed that when I've been to Holland, I've like go to the cinema, everything's subtitled, but at least I think like Holland have got really good choices of films in cinemas most of the time as well, which every time I've been very happy, been lucky to see some stuff.
Go see Petros Flu if you're in Holland.
Petros
Fantastic
Flu.
film.
Not because you have a pull quote on the poster.
No, I just love that film. I genuinely love that film. And like, it's weird because like Russian cinema does not usually get represented. Like it usually it's kind of sidetracked. Because truth be told, it's usually shitty. But like this one is genuinely fantastic. I adore that film.
Dutch Film Buff also says, I love all those pinky violence flicks. Did some of these movies already get a Blu-ray release? I think they come in those volumes, right?
I don't know if it's on Blu-ray though, is it?
No, the DVD. They're all on DVD box
All
sets.
DVD. Jimmy D-Bag still needs to get hold of that out-of-print Pinky Violence DVD set from Synapse from years ago with the pink set with the CD. Girl Boss Gorilla, Terrifying High School, Criminal Melody, Hands of the Razor, Sex and Fury. Those kind of movies were great. Then Jimmy D-Bag actually owns Zero Woman and Red Handcuffs on DVD, but has never watched it.
Oh,
is it sealed? That's the big question. Female Yakuza Tale, Sex Fury, Lady Snowblood, Tweeting Girls, High School, Lunch Law. I own all these great classics. Bloody hell. Then we got a lot. Women Killing Melody, I meant. Terrifying Girls High School, cool movie. What is Terrifying Girls High School?
It's about these like high school girl gangs, and they're like rival gangs within the class. One of their rivals, their dad runs the school. I mentioned one last year in our stream where in the end to get revenge on this girl, they did it way before Old Boy. They do like set her up to have an incestual relationship with her dad at the end. I think it's the third one. And then it just
the poster of Terrifying Girl High School looks really cool.
Yeah, they're really cool movies.
With graphic design. That's the thing, Japanese posters always have good graphic designs on them. Also, we got Miko Kaji probably got mad money for royalties from Quentin Tarantino using all her music in Kill Bill. You'd hope so. Ebola Syndrome for Vinegar Syndrome is basically 4K. Crazy great. You've ordered it, right?
I've ordered it. Eric, have you ordered it?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I don't think it's sold out yet.
I hope it sells well. Maybe we'll get a few more Cat 3 films,
Yeah. It's my first ever order from Vinegar Syndrome.
I ordered some stuff last year that was pretty good.
They're doing Alligator 4K. I'm hyped for that.
Right then, let's get to the last.
Is that the Louis Teague film, Alligator? That one?
Wait, let me check.
The one John Seals wrote.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great film. I adore it.
I think that's
Alligator.
the one. Yeah. Can't wait. Like I saw it as a kid. Fucking yeah. I love like everything like zoo horror related to me. That's yeah. Just like
that's
give me
the
more.
thing.
Give me more. Yeah. Wait.
Right then. Peter, choice number 5.
Okay, my fifth one is Dead End Driving.
Nice.
Which is a Brian Trenchard Smith film. I was actually trying to decide which one of his to do because there's quite a few of them that I wanted to do, but I thought this one is less well known. So it's set in Australia, authoritarian government, and there's high unemployment. The gangs are around basically attacking each other. And so the government has to do something with the young tearaways. So they have a free night out, they drive in, and people go there because they get a free movie. and you can only get in there if you're unemployed. So you go into the movies, and it turns out you can't leave the drive-in during this offer. You're trapped here for good. You cannot leave ever, and you have to live on all the garbagey food they've got, and you have to watch these movies again and again because they've done nothing else to do with you. And one guy is in there, he's trying to escape, and it's the whole movie about him trying to escape and find a way out of the drive-in. And that's it. But in the drive-in, there's like all these different social groups who are all employed, and how they all kind of clash with each other, and all they have to try and find a way to survive, and how a lot of them just get used to life there and find their own little structures. So this is like an exploitation movie with some ideas in it, but it's also nice and fun at the same time. It's not taking itself too seriously, but it is fun. A lot of fun.
This is an Australian film, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's on Prime. It's on part of the Prime subscription at the minute as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I always see the Arrow. Is it an Arrow Blu-ray, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've always like seen it, but I've never picked it up. But I'm intrigued.
I might check it out because I've just looked on my letterbox and there's quite a few decent like ratings for it.
Yes.
What's Andre's rating?
Andre's not reviewed it.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh, I'm scared now.
Whack.
Yep.
Good choice.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Like especially with like the hierarchy, the supposed hierarchy in a fucking drive-in. Like, come on. That's
Yeah,
a
because
cool
I only got it with just one of the Arrow sales. I thought, I'll just add that one to it. I'll just see what it's like.
Yeah.
And it was terrific. He was like, wow. I think it was a free one. No, you buy a bunch and one of them's the free or something or whatever.
Yeah.
One of those offers. So I was just like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. I actually had that once. I bought a movie magazine as a kid, and it had The Fall, the Tarsem Singh film.
Yeah.
For free with it, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" I was like, "Oh, whatever. It seems boring." And then like a week later, I'm like, "Fuck it, let's just watch it." And I was like I was a kid. I think it was like a year after the movie came out, and I loved it so much. Like instant favorite. After that, like I keep mentioning that film, like barely anybody have seen it out of like my social circle, unfortunately. But I think Tarsem Singh, it's so good. Like The Cell and The Fall are terrific films.
Oh god, yeah. Like as like a visual filmmaker, he's like really impressive.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody quite like him when it comes to that stuff. And then like I just question like what the hell happened to him after that. That's like what I wanna know.
Immortals, wasn't it?
Immortals is fun.
Yeah,
I think Immortals was fun. Yeah, it's like between that and Clash of the Titans. I think Immortals was more.
Did he do Clash of the Titans?
No. They came out
at the same time.
Yeah. They came out around the same time. Yeah, Immortals, like the art, like the art direction of that film is crazy. Like it's genuinely crazy.
Yeah, and he did the Snow White film as well, the one that no one saw.
Oh yeah, the one with Lily Collins. Yeah.
I liked that one, and no one saw it.
Yeah, that one was better than the Kristen Stewart one. Yeah,
well, that's not a high bar from that other film. Was terrible. That was so boring. Yeah, I like the Snow White one, but starring everyone's favorite cannibal, Armie Hammer.
Jesus Christ.
His career's over, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's only got that Murder on the Nile.
Yeah. But he's got oil money, so he can survive. I mean, he's from like a wealthy family of like, yeah.
I felt so sorry for him. I actually think like, what was it? I don't know what it was. It was just about him saying that he wants to eat someone, wasn't it?
No, it was like multiple allegations against him from multiple women.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the Johnny Depp situation. No. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, it was. It was one of those things. That was the more you found out, the worse it got.
Yeah.
It was one of those. But the thing is, Disney's still releasing it like in cinemas.
Mm-hmm.
Until they bump it on Disney Plus.
They're gonna have a hard time with that because like Letitia Wright was like an anti-vaxxer. You got Gal Gadot last time she was going on a tirade about Israel Palestine. Well, not a tirade, but the way her wording and stuff.
Yeah. It's the same with like the Dark Waters film, that Dark Water, I think, the one with Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas, the one that they pulled from schedule right now. Like, there's no way they're doing press for that film together. Like, no fucking way.
I forgot about that film. It's been so long. You've heard about it. It's like, oh yeah, did do that one.
Like
erotic thrillers should thrive. Like these days, we need good trashy.
I think just release it. Let people decide if they want to watch it or not.
Yeah,
people will still want to. People still watch it. I mean, my boy Ken Branagh. I love a bit of Ken Branagh. He's a cool guy. He's done nothing wrong. That guy.
Frankenstein.
Okay. Well, he's done Frankenstein.
I had to watch that recently. Belfast? That was terrible.
the man is on the road to the Oscar next year with Belfast. New movie Belfast. It's like the hot favorite to win everything right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a crowd pleaser. So
I just refuse to go watch that pile of shit.
Damn.
I stayed in bed that morning when it was screening. I was
right.
I
think Ryan went to see it, and I was like, "What?"
Well, Ryan's eager. Ryan's more positive about cinema than anybody I know right now.
Yeah.
Mr. Huss, what's your last choice?
Okay, my last choice is This is probably my softest title in here.
It's soft on me.
Yeah, it's Prison Boss. Directed by Yasu Furuhata, stars Ken Takahura. It's about two rival yakuzas. They go to a war. They're trying to get control of this this bike racing track, which leads like the fighting and the murdering leads two soldiers to go to prison. And then the in-house fighting within prison and the politics within inside the prison. I mean, I do like these Japanese prison films. There's something about especially when it comes to Yakuza, because this film, it still has the whole honor and honor against friendship. Like, you've got your loyalty to your Yakuza, but you've got friendship with someone on the other side as well. Which way do you go? It's a really good film. Some good fight scenes. It's a very soft film though. Soft for a exploitation movie. Have you seen it, Eric?
No.
Oh. Yeah, but
it feels weird when he says no to these films. You think, well, I'm sure you would have seen them now.
If we ever covered like kung fu films from the 70s, my answer would be no to a lot of those too, because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, Eric, what is your last choice?
My pick was mentioned like about an hour and a half ago in the chat.
God, you poker face.
I went back to Italy because I love Italian trash, baby. If it sounds like a duck and it acts like a duck, it's got to be a serial killer in New York City. I'm going with the New York Ripper from 1982.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this one, this is another one. Like, it's not as comedic intentionally as Strip Nude for Your Killer, but it definitely has it in there. I mean, you have this killer and he talks like Donald Duck. He calls his victims and like quacks like Donald Duck and taunts them. He also taunts the cops. But this film has some pretty fantastic death scenes. I just rewatched it again a few days ago on like a Blu-ray, and it comes correct with the death scenes in this, which is really, really quite memorable. And it's just so sleazy. It's so sleazy that I'll never forget the scene with those two like jerks at like the restaurant, and they just walk up to some lady and they shove their foot between her legs, and she's like, of course, in a lot of these movies, the woman doesn't like it at first, but eventually comes to enjoy it, So yeah, there's that scene in this, which is just freaking crazy. Multiple sex club scenes. But again, it maximizes pacing. That's why I like Italian horror and thriller films so much. Like I could just sit down and watch them like multiple times a week. And I like this one quite a bit. But again, it's one that I think people should know what they're getting into before sitting down and watching it, because this one gets pretty dicey. There's no like not much social commentary, I don't think, but yeah.
I really don't know what else to say about New York Ripper, because it's just one of those that I just enjoy. Well, it's hard to say you enjoy watching it, but it's just like it's an experience. The first time you watch it, the second time, the third time,
and it
if
leaves
you watch
such
it more
a
than 3
horrible
times, it's
taste.
just fucked up anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those. Just made me want to go to New York,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw Fear City by Abel Ferrara.
Yeah.
I think when I saw that, I was like, holy fuck, I'm never going to.
When I saw the Warriors, I'm like, yeah, let's go to New York City.
Coney Island.
Coney Island, man.
Yeah. Okay. My sister went to New York with a partner a couple of years ago, and like it was the middle of winter, and because he's such a Warriors fan, he was like, we have to go to Coney Island. It's like there's like nothing in Coney Island in the winter, and he was like, no, I have to like see where the Warriors was made. And he actually bought like a Warriors t-shirt when he was in Coney Island, because it was like that kind of it was like his mecca at that point. And I'm just like, why the fuck would you go there in the winter anyway? It's fucking cold anyway. But yeah,
I hope he got the little bottles and the
yeah. Out and play, yeah.
Probably.
Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that people have like these kind of pilgrimages anyway. Like recently I found out like loads of people, like I didn't know this, like horror fans actually go to places where like horror films get made. I didn't know this. Like,
that's a big
in
deal.
Wales, they shot scenes of American Werewolf in London. The opening sequences were actually like shot in Wales. I didn't actually know like random horror people from like around the world like literally just go to the mountains like where it was shot. I was like, what the fuck? And then somebody actually offers them tours to like where these locations are. Yeah. I was like, what? So yeah.
I don't care. It's like,
Neither do I. It's bizarre, isn't it? But yeah, I guess if you're passionate about something, that's.
Or the best is when you see a movie and you've already been there before. You're like, I've been to that place.
Yeah.
The best.
So I always find it funny when it's like a London film and you're just like, oh, yeah, you know where that is.
Have you noticed in a London film, the way they travel to areas like in a car chase, how they get from like somewhere like Farringdon to South Bank within seconds?
Yeah.
And it's like you can't even get there because of the heavy traffic, for one thing. Even if you went on the underground where you miss all the traffic, it will take you about 45 minutes. I don't understand how when you're watching Fast and Furious and they're going all the way through like South Bank, straight to Farringdon, and then all of a sudden they're in Oxford Street. It's like, how the hell do you get there? I mean,
they're also in Glasgow as well at the same time. Because like Hobson Shaw in Glasgow, and the whole chase is pretty much up and down this one street, because I know the street, and it's like, oh, that's a great. I used to go to, and there's this, and it's like it's literally up and down the street. It's like,
wait, wasn't that F9? Was that?
No, that was Hobson Shaw. F9 pretty much they go round in a circle.
They go, yeah, they go in the circle, yeah.
Yeah, because the street they're going down to escape at the end is the street that leads to where this chase began. If you know Edinburgh.
Wait. The scene with where she's like, "Oh, I don't know how to drive."
Yeah.
Where was that set?
Edinburgh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to live there for a year, and pretty much the scene where they start the chase at and where they're going to the end is pretty much going round in a circle, because it's like they're heading straight to that place again.
Yeah, it looked it looked the same. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've got
That's the
Okay.
power of Vin.
So, the Thorin Oakenshield asking, pick a movie for tonight: Shiver Baby or Old Henry. Go for Shiver Baby. It's amazing.
Good movie. Yeah.
Have you watched Shiver Baby yet, Kraus?
What?
Have you watched Shiver Baby yet?
I have, of course. I love
Have
that
you?
film. Yeah, of course.
Good
Yeah.
kino.
Yeah, very uncomfortable, deeply uncomfortable.
Makes you want a bagel though.
I mean, yeah, and a cigarette immediately at the same time.
In the bagel.
Yeah, in the bagel. It's like a candle.
Oh man. Right. So Dimitri, please.
Yeah,
close
I
the-
mean, I couldn't choose really like any of the John Waters films because like they're so good. I can't choose one. So I decided I'm a greedy fucker, so I decided to go with a film that has a remake that I deeply love. So I'm gonna choose both the original and the remake, but I prefer the remake. So Maniac 1980 and then Maniac 2012. I do love both of these films. I think the original is such a sleazeball classic. It's horrible. It's atrocious. Tom Savini goes nuts. The shotgun sequence in it is iconic. Obviously, the gore effects are unparalleled. I think the 4K is actually pretty good, allegedly. I don't know. I haven't checked, but I've heard people tell me that the 4K scan of it was actually pretty good. So I'm curious to check that out. And like as an example of like sleazeball cinema, that's my go-to film. Like if somebody asks me what do I recommend, I immediately go for Maniac. 2012 on the other hand, I do tend to prefer that film because I think it has so much more to offer, like substantially. It's a deep dive into this person's psyche. It's essentially like, to those of you who haven't seen it, it's filmed from like an almost POV perspective. So imagine like Henry Porter, the serial killer, but instead of like cutting away from all the violence and instead of actually commenting on it, you're having the entire film. You know, you are complicit. You are the killer throughout the entire film. It's horrific. It's gratuitously violent to the point where I remember sitting there at the cinema and I was repulsed by it. I don't think I'd ever seen anything like that prior to that viewing. And that was like 2012, 2013. So understandable why. For me, that was a big shock. So that was like one of the formative, like, I guess, extremely gory films at the time. I do find its ideas of like kind of ostracized man goes like on a violence spree very interesting because unlike something like Joker, you can't sympathize with this fucker. Like with Joker, you cannot like I detest anyone who says that you can sympathize with Joker, but like in this case, you can't even try to sympathize with him because he's such a deeply broken person. It's like it's beyond sympathize. It's more at the case of like it's eating you alive. And I think the ending of the film perfectly exemplifies that struggle, that like absolutely atrocious life that he had. So I really like that film, especially like I really like both of them, but I think the remake for me is it's a very tragic piece of film. It's exceptional. I really like this film, and the soundtrack for this by Rob, incredible. I had it on loop for like many years.
One of my favorite scenes of the original, and I was like, okay, this, and I really like the original actually, is this scene where all of a sudden you're with this guy and he's just having a normal conversation with like a woman at like a restaurant, and I think I added more because I'm like, oh, this guy actually is he can interact with people kind of normally. Exactly. And that made it better. I was like, ooh, now this is really interesting now. So I really like. Good choice.
What's his name? Joe Spinelli, I think. Right? Yeah. The guy who plays him, he's terrific in it. It's like there's I think with Elijah Wood in the 2012, you don't really get to see him very often. You get to see him like in the reflections, and when he looks up on the mirror and like he's next to a dead body. Sure, but like he's very kind of like he's expressionless, but I think it adds to the character. With Joe Spinelli, on the other hand, you are seeing him fully unhinged. Like he is there, and he's there for good. He's like absolutely unhinged.
I think like when it comes to Elijah Wood, though, I think it's like his best performance in a film personally.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I think the thing about him, and any director would say to you anyway, is that his eyes just tell you so much. But he's so dead in the eyes in that movie.
Exactly.
But it's and as well, it's like there's a weird sensual experience in it, because like I feel like when you like see the rotting corpses and everything like that, I feel like you can smell it, because it just has that weird kind of like texture to it, because the stealthing scenes are like fucking, I still remember like the first time I watched it, because we had a Blockbuster that was closing down where I live, and like literally I picked up Maniac and Spring Breakers on Blu-ray for like a couple of quid, and I back to back them. And I was like, it's the weirdest double bill I've ever had, but they're two of the films that I really love from that period. But like, because I hadn't seen the original Maniac until I watched the 2012, right?
2012, yeah. It came out in 2013 in most territories, but it was in Cannes, 2012.
Was it not Berlin?
No, it was Cannes.
Was it Cannes? Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, it's just it's one of my favorite horrors of like 21st century, personally.
For sure. I'm totally with you. It's just like, I think the like, especially the final sequences kind of hammer the point home, and like this, you see this character thoroughly emotionless throughout the entire film, and then only in the final sequences you see this glimpse of fear and like anguish, and like it's as if all of these victims come back to haunt him after all these years. It's terrific.
No, good. You know what? For some reason, I didn't expect that to come up today, but I'm like, yeah.
I was questioning it, like, it's not really exploitation. Like the 1981 is thorough, like it's pure exploitation, like pure. But like about this one, I was kind of I was questioning it, but I do feel like it takes a lot of the tropes, and it kind of it creates like I don't want to say elevates it. It kind of deconstructs them. It creates its own thing out of them.
Yeah, because he was even interested with the filmmaker. What's his name? Frank
Calhoun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I know I've literally seen like nothing of his before, but like nothing has like credibly been made by him. It seems like Maniac is like the only.
He did P2, I think, the parking lot horror film, which allegedly was alright. But I think it's like also the Alexander Aja influence on Maniac, I think, was significant, because he was there for. I don't want to say something incorrectly, but if I remember correctly, he was there for like the pre-production stage and some of the production.
Okay.
So I would imagine it was a kind of a collaborative effort.
There's a bit of the Hills Have Eyes vibe there.
Yeah. It has that like nastiness to it that you don't really get a lot in horror, like very often. It's like you can't. Like you feel for every single victim of this movie. Like it's not the kind of movie where you just watch and you just like enjoy the carnage. You feel for every single character in it, and it's horrific.
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. Crazy. Is that movie's actually going to be 10 years old next year? Crazy.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Damn, getting old.
Yep.
Losing even more hair.
Man,
that's
like
not just listening.
We're entering our prime now, baby. Entering our prime.
Okay.
No, man, I enjoy those lists. Like I feel like I have a lot of stuff I really actually need to watch now. Even though I'm so burnt out on cinema right now, but no, I'm intrigued.
I think it's fun to reminisce as well. Like a lot of these films that we mentioned, like I'm kind of like internally kind of like I'm getting in the moment of like me watching that film for the first time. For example, I just remembered how I saw Maniac at the cinema, and it traumatized me at the time. Like I was genuinely horrified by it. So yeah, just like all of these feelings coming back when you're discussing something. It's I don't know. I wouldn't change it for the world.
No, it's like for me, it's like recently I just like rewatched all of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies, because it's been like ages. So I saw Licorice Pizza last week, and I was like, "Fuck, this movie is amazing." But like it kind of like remade me think like, well, okay, there's a reason why I like cinema and why I work within cinema. But yeah,
What's your favorite of his movies?
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
Oh wow.
No,
Interesting.
like no
That's an
hesitation.
interesting choice. That's a very interesting
For me,
choice.
it's
I can read
Master.
that script any day. Like it's one of the best written scripts ever. And that was his second movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I got a free licorice pizza poster when I went to see.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Do you think that's gonna be the Cineworld secret screening on the 5th or 6th?
Nah.
Like 1 day before the release.
That would be cool though. But no. But I don't know. I really don't know where to go with this now. It's like obviously because it's coming to the end of the year, like obviously I know Eric doesn't do lists and things like that. He's an anti-lister. But like what's been everybody's like favorite like discovery of 2021? And it doesn't have to be a new movie, it can be like an old movie, even like what has been like that movie that's been like a bit like fuck, like this is amazing.
Damn. I mean, you know me. You know my love for Memoria and A Pitch of Punk. That's like.
I know that.
That's like.
And the fact that I had to stand outside for 2 hours with my gong cha, talking to some random guy.
It was good. It was fun.
But we made a new friend.
Yeah, we met Mao. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good.
Our friend Mao, who was a percussionist on the movie Cats.
Hell yeah.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
Has anybody got any thoughts here? What's been like the film? Obviously, I know Huss is not going to tell me the #1 film of the year.
No, but discovery-wise, I mean,
I'm never tells you.
No, I've had a few discoveries this year, like that I've really enjoyed. There was one Sammo Hung movie, which it's not like a discovery, but it was like a rediscovery where I fell in love with this movie. And it became like one of my favorite pickups of the year. It was a Sammo Hung and Carl Macker movie. What was it? Not Skinny Tiger. It was. Oh God, I'm trying to think of the film that they did together. Carl Macker directed it. And it was just. I'm just trying to. Dirty Tiger, Crazy Frog.
Okay. Nice.
It's something about it, just I've just thought it was perfection. And I think Sammo Hung, it made me remember that Sammo Hung's best work isn't always with Jackie Chan and Yun Biao. He did do some other great movies with other great filmmakers like Carl Macker. I mean, they did the collaborations for ages. Then Sammo Hung, Carl Macker, and Lau Kar-wing, and I think that's Sammo's best work.
I had a few standouts. There's an Italian crime flick from 1976, Live Like a Cop, Die Like a Man. I really like that one. That was a sweet
man. That's
got that one, but I haven't watched it yet. I've got it in my collection.
There's a few Hammer films. Cash on Demand, 1961. Awesome flick with
Peter Cushing.
Huh?
Peter Cushing.
Yeah, Peter. Yeah. That was really good. And then Rasputin the Mad Monk.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
Christopher Lee, baby. That movie's sweet. So those are a few big ones that I could think of.
Yeah, Rasputin's one of my favorite Hammer films. I love Hammer films. That's so good. Yeah. Yeah, I watched Napoleon for the first time. I people Napoleon. Yeah, that was amazing. It was really, really interesting to see an old-fashioned film that kept going and going. Plus, Napoleon was a complete lunatic in the film as well, which was
it
was just like
I've only ever watched it in stages, but no, good choice. I definitely think for me, House of Tolerance was the one that like stuck out the most for me. It was like a revelation. Like it's just one of those. And Memories of Matsuko as well. That movie still like.
Good.
Yeah, the first time I ever watched it, it's still stuck in the back of my head. Like I love that film.
He's a great director.
Like Toyota, like obviously, I've deep dived through all of Toyota's movies now as well this year, which has been like fucking, an education within itself. And just fighting through the ennui as well, trying to get them as I can.
Yeah, I still need to watch Hanging Garden, but I've watched all the rest of the box set, but I haven't watched that yet.
So many good ones in it. But fucking hell. So I still want to do my So You Want to Get Into Toyota video, but will I have time? We will see.
I'm really surprised that they didn't release Blood of Rebirth.
I heard, didn't somebody mention on social media that maybe the source file or whatever they could get wasn't really that good, and they had trouble getting that into like Blu-ray form or something like that. It was some technical problem they had. So I would have said, hey, just release DVD or DVD on Blu-ray. I don't care,
Just put a DVD in the disc. I wouldn't do shit.
I don't care.
I mean, it doesn't have a DVD release. That's the thing as well. I mean,
and it's good.
Yeah.
It's a weird one, that one.
Yeah.
Because it feels like a weird, like the two sets. I love the sets. Like I think they're really good, but it's just like it still feels so incomplete and it's kind of weird. But
I'm still processing his film at the moment because I did videos on it, but other things they're still going through my head a little bit. So it's like I've just seen quite a lot of them recently. So it's like,
I was happy when he added me as a friend on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm friends with him. He's a cool guy.
Nice.
I was like, fuck it. Yeah. I was like, yes, okay. I'm an actual genius master.
Wow.
Jimmy D.
Trader had me for years, but that's never worked out.
Jimmy D. Bags mentioned Tezuka's Barbara, which is I really like that one.
That was a great release as well.
From the director of Black Kiss, which is another one that people need to see.
Yeah.
That was a good release as well. And Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes as well. Wow. That was really great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that, but it was so hyped up that it was like, I enjoyed it. It was one of those ones that was like, I really liked it, but Beyond the Infinite
2 Minutes.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. Just like so hyped.
I was honestly so surprised this year. Like we spoke about this pre-stream, but like the Japanese module that I did opened up so much for me. Like, I saw Battle Without Honor and Humanity. To me, that was like.
Is that your first time?
Yeah, it was my first time seeing it. Like, I can't wait to see the sequels now. Like, I cannot wait to see the sequels now. Lady Snowblood, incredible film. Drunken Angel, love that one. I even fucked with the Yakuza, the Paul Schrader written film, the American.
You had to do an American one, didn't you?
Yeah, it was like the introduction was the first one, so it's like we start with the American one and we end on Brother, the Kitano one. The cross-cultural one.
Yeah.
Have you seen Graveyards of Honor yet?
No, not yet.
That's amazing.
No,
I really need to.
I really need to see that.
That's all of his films in the 70s are astonishing.
Branded to Kill, another one.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
Branded to Kill, yes. That's
Tokyo Drifter as well. Great.
Yeah. I'd already seen Tokyo Drifter prior to this, but Branded to Kill was entirely new to me, and like, wow.
Yeah, I saw Blind Beast this year, and that really blew me away. That was so good. I didn't really know what I was going to expect from that one. That was really something.
But hello, Graham. I haven't seen his name on our chat in a while. Discoveries the Murder Lives at number 23. Holy Mountain, Mad Detective, 20th Century, Laura the Ballad of Mariama, and Dinner in America, Perusa, Durango, Milano Calibre 9, and Johnny Guitar. That's a lot of good cinema as a discovery this year.
I'm surprised anybody's mentioning Dinner in America. Like that movie.
You really liked it, right?
I thought it was fun. Yeah, I thought it was fun. I like it. Just like it's a weird like 2000s throwback type of like dysfunctional romance.
Yeah.
Like a weird, like punk rock romance. It's fun.
Yeah, I bought it in stream. I haven't watched it yet. I just haven't around to it yet. It's just one of those ones that's in the backlog.
Went under the radar
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
It doesn't even have US distribution. Like the actor keeps tweeting about the fact that it doesn't, like, still doesn't have US distribution, even though it's Arrow over here. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
weird, isn't it?
Really
Jimmy
bizarre.
D-Bags, anybody picking up the anti-war Obayashi set on Monday?
Yeah,
What's
I'm
it
waiting.
up?
I have
Mine's-
to.
You have
Mine,
to.
mine
Even
arrived
though one of the
yesterday.
films in there I don't really
Oh, you
like. Right?
bastard!
Yeah,
Which one?
right?
Don't
This is that
I'm
with a
still
H.
waiting.
Isn't Labyrinth of Cinema in there?
No.
No,
No.
Oh, it
no.
isn't. What are the films in there?
There's-
Hanagatami, right?
Oh, I love
No?
that one.
No, is that like?
yeah,
is that in the set?
Hanagatami's in there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Oh man, I'm
fantastic.
definitely
film.
picking that up then. If Labyrinth of Cinema isn't it?
There's a steelbook, right, of that one.
yeah.
What's in it again? I forgot already. So it's got casting Blossoms of the Sky to the Sky, 7 weeks, and
Weeks
Hanagatami.
and Hanagatami.
Oh, I
yeah.
haven't seen
Yeah.
7 weeks. Yeah,
There's loads of special features in there. You got
Yeah.
like
picking that one up, baby.
the 70 on I think 7 weeks. You got like a over an hour's worth of making of special features. You got like long interviews as well, like 45 minutes and half an hour. There's like they really jam packed it with like loads of cool special
The extras
features.
on the just even the extras on Hanagatami, the original one, that was like really good, wasn't it? Because it
Yeah.
gave you a bit more of a perspective of what
Mhm.
Obayashi was making.
Yeah,
Again, you know, like in the back end of this year, obviously I know Eric's thoughts on Labyrinth of Cinema, but like the fact that there's 4 Obayashi films getting a Blu-ray release is amazing. You know, because I when they announced it a couple of months ago, I did actually ask them what's going on with his motorbike Her Island, and they actually said that they are planning on releasing it, which is like revelatory to me because it's my favorite like Obayashi film.
Which one?
His motorbike Her Island, really
I
good
don't
movie.
think I've seen that.
Third Window listened to. I think they listened to the audience, unlike any other publisher. Like Arrow don't give a fuck.
Well, we all know what happened when you asked them about Toyota originally.
Yeah, because I originally asked Third Window because they just released the first box set and Blue Spring, and I said you have to release more. I mean, there's so many more movies to release. That I mean, out of that was 2 movies which were just outstanding, which was Nine Souls and Blue Spring. I said you have to release more because the further on in his career, the better he got. They said it wasn't selling. They just weren't selling those releases, and they were his better films. So if they weren't selling, what was the point of them releasing? And I understood it, but I don't know what happened. They just started. I think Blue Spring went out of print, and that box set went out of print within like the last year, which is brilliant. And
do you think it is because though Toyota works independently that probably they could just cut a better deal? That's my kind of interpretation. Because obviously we won't really know, but
Day of Destruction and Wolf's Calling and Ghost of Puka Yourself were all crowdfunded.
Yeah,
which is just wonderful. Like when I hear that, and he's just I think he's one of the great directors.
If they the t-shirts they get when they do the campaign stuff, it was like if they did it in like fat size and is willing to pay the post and packaging, I'd get one.
Yeah,
you know, Japanese clothing doesn't go larger than a goddamn medium. So but I think that set is like definitely up there, like one of the best releases of the year.
That's
like,
my favorite Blu-ray release. Yeah, easily my favorite Blu-ray release of the year.
I still tell you, Beavis and Butthead Do America is my favorite Blu-ray release of the year.
Hell yeah, Josie and the
I was just
Pussycats.
like, when they announced it, I was like, yes. My copy's not arrived yet, but like I'm the minute it arrives, I'm putting it on. Like,
my release of the year is The Forbidden Door because I've been waiting for 10 years for that movie from Severin.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh man,
what happened to oh god, I can't remember what. You put it in our chat before, Eric. It was like 2 movies that was meant to get released.
Oh yeah, that's next year.
Is it
They,
next year?
they
now,
probably
is
had
it?
to delay it due to the world situation because a lot of the labs I've seen or I've heard, a lot of the labs that do some of the restoration have been, dodgy
Yeah.
because of what's been going on. But the Warped Forest, I've been waiting to see. I haven't even seen it in 10 years, and I've been waiting 10 years to watch it.
Third Window releasing it over here.
Yeah.
I think. And who's releasing it over?
Error 4444.
Yeah.
So I remember
They're
Eric, they're
I
doing
really-
good.
Yeah, I really like their first release.
I'm finding like Third Window and Second Run are the two things I'm spending a lot of money on recently. It's like they've been getting so much of my money.
Yeah.
I
Third
got
Win-
Funiki, Show Me Some Love, Losers and Arrow
That's a
Sale.
good flick.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and I got some Eastern European ones as well. I can't remember the titles of, but there was quite a few. One that not that you'd always been looking at, thinking I should get that. So I finally got them in an hour sale. But I'm a sucker for the Eastern European depressing communist era films. Remember they had to suggest what they thought rather than say it because they were going to get shot otherwise. So they'd have to be really obscure with it. So they're releasing Parting the Guest next year, which I'm really excited about because it's a great film.
I'm excited to see Days come out by Grasshopper as well in January.
So expensive.
yeah.
I know, but like I'm not saying no to it. Like I can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna order it like next week. I get paid, so I'm gonna order it then. I think
I
it's.
think maybe Terracotta might put it up on their site. Maybe.
I don't think.
Well, they put
Yeah,
they put Labyrinth of Cinema up there for sale.
Yeah, but I mean that was with Crescendo House. I mean they've never released any other Grasshopper release. That's the thing.
True.
I mean, I think they just did a deal with Crescendo House. I think people were
Yeah.
saying, "Why you're not selling?" But I don't think they're selling it with the slip cover on. So not like anyone gives a shit. I think they just got a stack of like standard versions, which I'm happy with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's so much extras on it.
Yeah.
And then The Woman Who Runs out next week as well, I think. But I'm gonna wait on that one.
Wait, really?
Cinema Guild, yeah, I've got that one.
Oh, wow.
On Blu-ray.
Criterion have got
Drive My Car.
Drive My Car.
Yeah, and they have Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy as well, right?
Have they?
Yeah.
I've got both.
Ooh.
Well, Giannis films have them, right?
Yeah, that's obviously it's going to be Criterion.
They're doing Worst Person in the World as well next year.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I'm just hoping Labyrinth Cinema actually stays in. They copy stay with Terracotta for a bit till after Christmas so I can buy it.
I think you'll be able to pick it up from Crescendo. I mean, you have to pay a little bit more because I know it's not cheap on Terracotta. Pay a little bit more and get it imported from the US from Crescendo House.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the price to go down. I'm assuming it will go down.
Do you know what they did for me, Crescendo House? Because it got delayed, they gave me a voucher, which is non-expiry date, for 25% off my next order from them.
Oh, okay.
Which worked out pretty good for me because I like their next releases.
Yeah, the thing is, I've got points in Terracotta already, so that will knock the price down anyway. So I'm just trying to, hoping it waits a couple of weeks and I'll have the money and I'll just use my points to knock it down, and I'll probably be fine.
Obviously, I know we're all patiently waiting for Matrix Resurrection as well, right?
I am.
Very impatiently.
Have you seen it, Dion?
No, there's no press screenings for it yet. Plus, I'm not going down to Omicron City either for Keanu.
I played the Matrix tech demo this morning, and it blew my mind so hard that like I cannot wait anymore. Like it's just at this stage, I feel like the final weeks are the hardest every single time. Something you're like
with the Marvel
really
high Spider-Man on Wednesday.
No.
Oh, Spider-Man. That comes out, doesn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the tech demo was wild. Like they literally like they stress the point that the sequence that they're using Unreal Engine 5 to basically like CGI Carrie-Anne Moss and Keanu Reeves. And they have the sequence where it's both him and her, and then their CGI models, and they flip between both during the same sequence, and it's basically like indistinguishable from each other. It's terrifying, Genuinely terrifying.
Yeah, because it's younger and older, and it's then there's the city as well, and
Yeah,
keeping wander around the city.
But then they have like them in the same age, like him, like Keanu, like with the beard and like the way he is right now, and he's like a CGI model all of a sudden, and it's barely noticeable.
Yeah.
Really, I always find that CGI when they do like model a face, the eyes are always like dead. They're always like,
yeah, that's true.
But Unreal Engine.
Our last trailer though, kind of told you a bit too much, I think.
Yeah, like the clip especially, the one that aired last night. I saw that and I wish I didn't. Honestly, it's just like
unless Lana Wachowski like just be like, nah, I'm just lying to you right now. Like I'm just joshing. But...
Yeah, you're in the Matrix, mate.
Nah, we'll see what happens. But yeah. How's the watch piles for the Christmas season, or are we going to familiar territories and rewatches? Everybody
familiar with me. I watch Cliffhanger every year. I watch Christmas Vacation. The new one of the ones that I just watched recently is Deadly Games. Dial Code Santa Claus, which is a French. Basically, it's like Home Alone, but it came out before Home Alone. But it's about a killer Santa Claus who comes into the kids, and it's anybody who hasn't seen it, I highly recommend Deadly Games. It's really entertaining.
I like Krampus and Rare Exports. I can watch them. Things I always kind of see what I feel like. Really, I just don't try and plan too much. I always get obsessed at some point. I'm going to watch these kind of movies, but I don't really know until I'm there. But we'll see. I mean, I'm partial to watching Harold and Kumar Christmas movie because that's good fun.
Hell yeah, that's a fantastic choice.
Yeah,
Prince Charles canceled their screening of Krampus on me, and I was so sad. Like I really wanted to see that again. They're like the naughty cut. Allegedly, it's barely like anything. It barely adds anything. So I'm curious.
They were showing Raid 1 and 2 with Gareth Evans there.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was talking to one of Gareth Evans' mates this afternoon in a meeting. He was telling me a bit about his new movie, which sounds freaking wild. Is it Havoc? Is it called?
Is it Tom Hardy one?
Yeah.
And Timothy Oliphant is in that one too.
Yeah, they filmed it in Wales. Forrest Whitaker was just like walking around like Cardiff, as you do. Like going to see the fields and all that shit.
Going to Iceland.
I think that's in Iceland. I'm sure he went to away shows or M&S. Jimmy D-Bag's got my Mulholland Drive 20th anniversary 4K set on the way at the minute too, been dispatched. I'm really tempted by that one. I've got like 5 different versions of Mulholland Drive anyway. Do I need another? Probably not.
That set is beautiful though. That
set is a nice set.
That big one.
Yeah. It's really good.
Criterion's 4K release as well, right? So
I might just buy a digital 4K version now because I've got enough. I've already got a decent copy of that. I don't need massive other one. So
I don't really watch Mulholland Drive that much either. Like, I've seen it too many times.
Where's Fire Walk With Me 4K when you need it most?
Imagine.
I would love that. That's my favorite Lynch film. So like, I would honestly love.
Hey, if Dune got a 4K, anything can happen.
Maybe.
So I've got the German version of Dune 4K, and it looks gorgeous. The box set and the film itself, it looks really nice.
Didn't that German one have more extras as well than the Arrow?
Different ones, just different ones, really.
Oh, just different ones.
Yeah, so I think it was evened up really ultimately, but you got a really nice steelbook, which I thought was more important.
Yeah.
I liked the new Dune, but I preferred the aesthetic of the Lynch one. I just thought it was more. It represented like this because it's all about like high, just like regalness. And I think that was represented a lot in the Lynch one, like the way they wore their suits. It felt like more regal.
I had a lot of problems with the new one, but I'm not sure it was because I was contrasting it to the old one. So I'm interested in it again just to try and see it from a distance. Now I've seen it. Maybe I'm being a bit too hard on it. I'm not sure, but it did annoy me the first time because I was looking forward to it and I didn't like it. But we'll see what happens when I rewatch.
I think like what I remember your video, I was like, your points are valid. Like I'm still quite like in the middle with it. I'm just like, I like the book. There's a lot missing. Obviously, I know it's only half of the first book, blah blah blah. But I was like, the music was annoying as well. I really didn't like the score.
Really?
Oh god, there's like just not for me. Not for me.
Yeah, he's a Toto man.
I was surprising. I think to me the most surprising aspect of this was how like human this was, as opposed to like I think earlier Villeneuve films. Like I think with Blade Runner in 2049, it was so cold, but it was still like it was soulful. With Dune, it was very different because it was like throughout the entire film, it feels like he's like working in a completely different mode. Like it didn't feel like a typical Villeneuve film, and I was dreading that it would be the case.
Rebecca Ferguson was the best thing about that movie, I thought.
She was fantastic.
I just couldn't connect all to the characters, was the problem. I just could not connect. It was just like there's something. I think because I didn't like the lead performance, which is a big problem. I just couldn't connect to him.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with I think with Paul anyway. I never really connected with him in the book. Even I've never liked Paul Atreides at all. Even when Cal MacLachlan played him,
I liked him more as Paul than you guys. It's just something about
like Paul is an asshole, right? Like Paul is an asshole. Like he's a colonizer. That's who he is. Like in the book, I feel like it's explicit that like by the end you're kind of sympathizing with him, but you're also he's not a good person by any means. He's written as an like almost like a broken antagonist by the end of the film, by the end of the book. So in a way, I guess.
I think I tried to fudge that a little bit, at least in the first half. The first half of the story we saw, I just felt like they got a bit vague after he'd lost everything. I just felt like I wasn't quite sure who the guy was. Really.
Yeah, but like I feel like the end, like the final showdown between him and the assassin, like the warrior. I think I don't remember the name, but I think in that they could have really stressed the point that this was for Paul, it was the point of no return. After this is all it's all downhill from here for him. In the end, like his righteous intentions will ultimately result in the demise.
Yeah, it's just a weird film. Actually, the thing was, I actually like Duncan Idaho a lot more than like Paul. And he's a supporting character. It's like,
but he comes back.
He comes back. Yeah, he's a important
part.
Like I'm reading Jim Messiah at the moment.
There's a comment here, and I'm really trying to figure out what movie with Jimmy's talking about. It said, "Let's not mention the dreaded film that definitely isn't a Christmas film. Big Paulie would be screeching in the chat." What film is it?
Die Hard?
Yeah, that's my first thought.
Yeah,
that's
seriously. I'm disappointed in that. And he also says what we really need is a Showgirls 4K set.
There is.
Don't start Dion.
Yeah. Yeah, like
honestly, if there was an Arrow set, I would definitely go up to him and say, "Listen, if you want an essay for your booklet, I'll write it." But there is because
just quit Germany, Amazon Germany.
Yeah.
Because it was part of that sale last year, right?
Yeah, it was part of the sale. Yeah, I got it. It's not a great scan. It's not a great transfer. It's a bit yellowish. It has that tint to it that's a bit like it creates an even more artificial look, which I guess plays into kind of the film pretty nicely, I think, all around. But it's not a very faithful recreation of representation of the film. Like actually, speaking of recreations of 35mm prints, I got this downloaded this Blair Witch theatrical recreation, which looks like a like a Super 8 kind of like almost like a window boxed Blair Witch. It's fantastic. It creates such a different claustrophobic feel for it that like I don't know. It's weird with films like that. Like you watch them in cinemas, and it's a completely different experience from what you get at home.
Yeah.
You don't really get that these days, thankfully.
Yeah, because I've been watching a lot of stuff on projector now, and it's much more fun just to watch and see stuff projected again, and just it does get a concentration up a bit more, really.
Yeah.
It's just a much more satisfying thing, you know.
Yeah, it's like how The Matrix, it got green at like on home releases.
Mhm.
Like, it has that green tint. They kind of eliminated that in 4K, but like the DVD and the early Blu-ray, it still had them.
Yeah.
It created for a completely different tone of the film. Like the color grading is different, everything's different.
Yeah.
What else we got? Going through, I like Showgirls. Got the DVD set, but not seen the 4K print, which Dimitri says yellowish. And Jimmy D Bag says the blue of Showgirls has yellow tint also. So I assume it's just the upscale and the HD blue.
Yeah.
Might be. I'm not well versed in
I've got the French Blu-ray of it, but I've not watched it in a while, so I need to really look at it. I had the VHS of it back in the day because I was a perverted child. So. But no. So when it comes to 2022, what is like the release everybody's kind of like waiting for?
Warped Forest for me.
Yeah.
On Blu-ray.
Yeah.
You talk about new movies though?
Well, you can go new as well if you want.
I mean, I want to see John Wick 4 and Mission Impossible 7 in terms of the franchises, but
got to see what our dear friend does in John Wick 4. Donnie fucking Yen.
That cast though looks so good.
I know.
Imagine if Donnie Yen's in it for like 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. I would be surprised.
No, it wouldn't shock me either. But
if they do that.
Yeah.
No, have you seen the cast? Like Clancy Brown, Scott Atkins.
Scotty Atkins is in it.
I know.
Hell yeah.
Donnie Yen. Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah. Hey, we've Accident Man 2 coming out next year. Come on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for One Shot. I cannot wait. I really want to see that movie.
I've heard that Samurai Guy YouTube channel did a review of it, and they said it was really good.
Of what?
Yeah.
One Shot, Scott Atkins.
It's a Scott Atkins one-shot like action movie. And like people I spoke to who kind of raved about it. They were like, "Oh, like 1917, they got shit on this."
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, I do not really like 1917. So for me, this is like, this is such an endorsement. This is like weight off my chest immediately. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's something about these like direct-to-video action flicks these days that are like, they just fucking rule. They're so good.
I mean,
like Universal Soldier, Regeneration, Universal Soldier, Day of Reckoning, fucking amazing movies. Incredible.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know why Scott Atkins is not like a bigger star.
He was born in the wrong decade. That's the only explanation.
I mean, look at Ninja 2. Ninja 2 is amazing. Yeah.
Avengement.
Avengement. Oh my god, yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen Seized yet. There's a new one to be Isaac Florentine.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
that's good fun. I mean, it's not the best one they did, but it's still really enjoyable.
Legacy of Lies was a weird one. I saw like parts of it because my friend was watching it, and they do like the whole like Russian poisoning subplot in it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to go about it. That's cool to be so confrontational.
Yeah, it's, I always look forward to new Scott Atkins film. There's a new one he did with Dolph Lundgren, Castle Fall as well, just coming out.
Really?
That's out in the next few weeks. Yeah. It's out in digital pretty much. I mean, let's hope they do a third Debt Collector movie, though, really. Because I loved those first two. They were so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I haven't seen the second one yet, but...
The second one, I actually like the second one more than the first one, because it's just more them bickering and getting each other's nerves.
I mean, that's the thing with Scott Atkins films. Like, you know what you're in for. And I think he's very good at what he does. Like his niche, like the niche that he occupies is really good.
Yeah.
Crazy. Do you know what? I forgot about that one. Chigos talks about the new Park Chan-wook decision to leave. That's coming out next year.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Isn't
Berlin.
Tang Wei in that one?
Is who?
Tang Wei in that one?
I
I'll watch anything with her. I think she might be in it.
Because this has been going on for a while now, right?
I heard it was going to get released this year.
It was meant to be a Cannes release, but it wasn't ready. Yeah, Tang Wei is in it.
I love her. Yeah, I'm definitely watching that.
No, I've been told it's playing at Berlin in February. That's all I've heard recently about it. Which,
well, let's hope that's true.
Berlin happens. That's another question.
Yeah.
As you see, Verhoeven's meant to be reteaming with Ed Neumeyer from RoboCop Starship Troopers for a movie. That's pretty good thriller. So I'm hoping that gets filmed. Because Verhoeven's in his 80s.
It would be so bizarre for him to come back to that mode of filmmaking. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, especially after he did L, which was completely different from him. Then he kind of did Benedetta, which is a middle ground. You know, it's not a new territory. I don't think it is new territory, but it is him more mature. Yeah. And now doing something this outre and this weird. I mean, sounds cool.
Yeah.
Gung Fu says it's a shame that Scott Adkins never done a great movie yet. He's super hardworking and seems like a genuine nice guy. His YouTube podcasts he does are even better than his movies.
The Undisputed movies. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
oh my
great.
God, yes.
What?
Boyka.
Yeah. I have a real soft spot for 3. I think 3 is my favorite.
3 is really good.
I feel like you two are gonna have to do a Scott Adkins podcast on the channel at some point. It feels like it's brewing here right now. But, anybody else releases next year? And what's the one? I know it's Monsters for Dimitri.
Yeah, it is Monsters. It is Monsters for sure. It is Ambulance. The Rob Zombie Monsters. I cannot wait.
The Monsters.
The Monsters. Yeah, the Monsters. Yes.
Yeah, starring Sylvester McCoy.
Yeah. Cherry Moon Zombie.
Just doesn't know what to say right now. It could be some fucked up shit, or it could be conventional. You never know.
I'm so hyped. I've not disliked a single Rob Zombie film this far. So.
Another one I want to watch big time. Terrifier Part 2.
Oh yeah!
I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah!
Yeah.
It was. They finished grading it now. I think it's almost finished, and he said that it's going to be out before March.
Yeah.
So
I
think it sounds like it's going straight on digital anyway.
Clown, baby.
Yeah.
I am in. I mean, the Monster's going straight to digital and Blu-ray as well.
Is it?
Yeah, it's made by the Universal Studio, the Universal 1440, the company that made the Chucky sequels and all that. So it's definitely gonna be direct to video and direct to streaming.
Well,
there's no way it gets
direct as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, 3 from Hell had a couple of screenings for super fans, but that's it. So might just be the same case here.
Yeah.
Is the new Ari Aster movie going to come out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the new Robert Eggers as well.
Yeah, and then Northman's out next year as well.
Yeah.
Loads of big movies.
When's he going to start doing the Nosferatu? Is that coming out next year as well?
Allegedly, he's finished Northman and he's going straight into Nosferatu next year.
Oh my!
He hasn't cast anyone.
Both of the Nosferatu films a lot.
Yeah.
Defoe's playing a titular character, of course.
I mean, Northman started test screening. The test screening started over a year ago. I think the first test screening for the Northman happened. Very, very long.
3.5 hours long. The original. The
It was huge, and they told him to cut it. And apparently the audience resonated with it, actually liked it a lot. So, I mean, it's focused probably. So they're gonna fucking push him into cutting it.
It's bound to be cut. I'm just be normal, but I'm so intrigued to see Scream, obviously, beginning of the year.
Yes. Oh my god, I cannot wait.
And then the Batman, I'm so excited to see Pattinson and Matt Reeves. I have a funny feeling it's gonna be shit, but
Apparently they don't get on.
I think it's a lot. The more I'm hearing stuff, the more I don't really believe it anymore. Like,
Yeah, it seems like corporate like bullshit.
I think
like,
the story about Patterson having sex with Zoe Kravitz on the Batmobile while people were watching, and then apparently she was pregnant. It sounds like something you would talk about in like elementary school.
yeah, essentially
You know what
like
I mean?
Daily
It's
Mail
just
type
they had
bullshit.
sex on the Batmobile. Now she's pregnant. You know what I mean? It's just, oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, like
Right.
Scream is the one that I'm so hyped for. Like the leaks that said that the opening scene mentions elevated horror. Like when he asked like what movies do you like, she's like, "Oh, I only like elevated horror." If that's true, then I am so in. Like to make fun of the reboots that come 40 years later as well. Like please do. Just please. At this point, just like save us.
Yeah, no. Hopefully it'll be a good start to the year. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind Halloween Kills. I thought that was fun. I like
me too.
Yeah.
in a way that like very few mainstream horror films these days are this cruel
Yeah.
and this
Yeah.
fucked up, and like it was
Yeah.
so refreshing to see like a universal movie that actually embraces nihilism. So you know,
I thought that just the opening scene in general was just like, it just took me back to like what Halloween was, you know. And then obviously
Yeah.
when Jim Cummings came up, it was just hilarious. But
we looked
Hey,
at each other and I was
no,
like, "What?
but
No way!"
it was no, it was a great. I really liked it. I think obviously the scene with the mental patient was just like a bit much.
Yeah, that's a
Wasn't
bit
really
too much.
necessary.
That's
The
too
whole
much.
I loved the rest of it. Like people hated the ending, and I was like, "What the fuck are you on about?" Like that dude just like annihilated everybody. You know?
Yeah.
The way he kills the boyfriend is horrifying.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like one of the scariest deaths I've seen in months.
Yeah.
It really goes for him, doesn't he? On those scenes?
Yeah. The character was a pain, so it was quite enjoyable to see at the same
Yeah.
time.
But it was mostly like the way it cuts to the reaction of the girl. That
Yeah.
was that was really tragic. I
Yeah.
found like that emotional connection between the audience and the characters in this was stronger than it was in the 2018 one. Much stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought the 2018 was okay, but that was it. It wasn't
Yeah,
didn't
I
really
was.
do much.
The Halloween Kills is actually my like top 5, top 6. I would say of the Halloween films.
Yeah.
Personally,
I only really rate 1 and 3. The rest are like I can take or leave them.
Rob
Honestly.
Zombie's Halloween
There's
2,
Michael
baby.
Myers, the producer's cut.
I like the Rob Zombie ones
Yes.
more than the
Yeah.
other ones actually. Just
I'm
That's
totally
fine.
with you.
yeah.
What else we got? Jimmy D. Bag's new Sopranos movie was just okay. Apparently, David Chase had a deal with the studio to do a miniseries through. Hopefully, I quite liked the Many Saints of Newark. It took me back. Like it took me back to why I love the Sopranos. And I thought like what's his name, Alessandro Navallo was really good.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
The ending as well, like
Yeah.
I guess like it kind of earns the title card and the needle drop at the end with
Yeah.
the theme song.
Yeah.
But like it's a bit of a weird one. Yeah,
Vera
definitely.
Farmiga as well.
Yeah. The pink.
She embodied that. You
Yeah.
know, even the nose. Fucking hell. Halloween Kills was lackluster. Commode loved it. Lol. Actually, funny story, Jimmy D Bags. We and Dimitri were at the same screening as Commode for that. He was even having a sandwich next to us at one point, but we didn't even notice like he liked it.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought
No.
like that's something he would hate. I would usually.
Oh, we thought,
expect him
yeah,
to
because
hate.
even when we left, he was like, he's not gonna like it.
Yeah, totally.
Because we sat next to Kim Newman, didn't we? And he was like,
Yeah.
he seemed quite happy with it, but I don't know. I thought I liked that.
One movie like I mean unanimously liked among the film community feels like is Malignant. Like I feel like
yeah.
at this stage, like
Oh, that's so much fun.
Yeah.
everybody, like I'm so happy that everybody agreed because I remember like I wrote about it when nobody like had seen it, and I was so worried that I'm gonna be like the odd one out, the weirdo who like really fucking loved it. But then like the entire horror community just came together and embracing this weird doozy of a film. It's so rewarding.
Yeah, it's quite funny because the film before everyone thought they were going to love was Last Night in Soho, and Malignant was the one that actually they loved because Last Night in Soho was kind of stupid.
Yeah, I found it really like genuinely offensive. like in a way that it treats like victims of sexual abuse. I thought that was horrific. Like the victim blaming at the end, I guess like that's a Giallo twist, like a typical Giallo twist, sure. But like you're making something like this in 2021, you have to understand that there's a different culture around this sensitive subject matter. So yeah.
Yeah, plus it didn't make any sense plot-wise that how was she having those memories of this person.
Yeah,
It was like, oh, it was so stupid. It was like, and I liked bits of the film, but it just seemed kind of weird. And that boyfriend character was like a puppy. There was no character. It was just a puppy.
Exactly. He was just there to ask her, like, do I need to do something for you? You know, are you okay? Can I do something for you? And I was just like, what? Why are you here?
I actually felt bad for the actor because at some point he must have been thinking, why the hell am I seeing half this stuff? What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
He was in
It's a
Attack
shame.
the Block when he was younger.
Really? That was him?
Yeah, that was him.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's the funny thing, like not even like many people are like backing up Edgar Wright with this one, because usually they just like kiss this guy's ass all the time. And actually you had a lot of people that actually hated the film, which is like nice to hear.
I mean, it had applause at the LFF screening, so.
Yeah. I was looking forward to it because it looked weird and Giallo influence thing. Then you saw it and I was like, this is not good. This is kind of silly.
It's weird how like Malignant ended up being like the Giallo homage of the year, as opposed to the one that everybody
I actually think it's my favorite horror of the year, for sure.
For sure. 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely the one you want to watch again pretty quickly. It's just that kind of you always see that again. It's so strange.
I think I'm gonna rewatch it next week. I think it's out on Blu-ray next week, right?
27th.
27th. Oh, after Christmas.
I'm gonna go to FOP probably because I don't know.
Maybe your review will be on the.
I am not expecting that. I am not expecting that. It would be a nice surprise, but I'm not expecting that. It's just it's such a nice movie. It's such a weird.
It's such a nice movie.
It's such a nice movie. Like no, ultimately it is, because like the ending is so hopeful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It reminded me a lot of. You ever seen Raising Cain, the Palmer film?
The Palmer film. No, I've not. I've only seen bits and pieces on TV, but I've never seen those.
It's get the same feel of this one. It's just like a director saying, "I don't care. I'm going to do this movie. I don't care if everything is weird. I'm doing it. I'm going to go crazy."
Oh, that's the best kind of movies. I'm into that. Like I love the Femme Fatale, the Antonia Banderas one. I love that one so much.
Yeah.
This is a great comment here from Chiggers. Okay, I felt like Edgar Wright liked the idea of Last Night in Soho so much that he farted out a script as quickly as he could to make the movie. That is beautiful. That's very poetic.
That feels like the film, though. It really does, because it's like,
I
was watching. I was like, this didn't even work. This dialogue bits and character stuff.
He got a standing ovation at where was it?
Venice.
Was it Venice?
I think it was.
It was Venice.
But the reviews came out mixed straight away.
Yeah, like straight away.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's just like the British industry, like fucking kisses that guy's ass so much, it's crazy. You know, like especially like the BFI. The BFI think he's just like the savior of cinema, which he clearly isn't. But whatever, you know, that's just my opinion.
I wish they would champion Lynn Ramsey. That's why.
I was just about to say that.
The thing is, she's too she's too shy. Like she doesn't like talking to people. That's her problem. Yeah. That's why they never approach her to do anything. You know, the Q&A I went to in London, she just literally said, "This is my film," and she walked off. That was it.
Hell yeah, amazing. Yeah. She's terrific. I love her.
I went to this wrestling thing in the late 90s, and it was meant to be Paul Schrader, and he had to drop out. So they got a couple of people come instead, including Lynn Ramsey, and she barely said a thing, even though she said she's a massive wrestling fan. But she obviously did not want to be there, like at all.
She's just all about the filmmaking, but
I mean, you have so many. Like you have Jane Campion, who's a terrific filmmaker, who just released one of her finest works ever, I think, and you're not really doing anything to champion it other than, saying, "Oh, it's out on Netflix. Watch it."
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Oh, wait, Fanatical Dragon saying Criterion releasing David Fincher's which David Fincher's are they releasing? I see Mank, but do you mean there's more than one? Because if Zodiac's getting a Criterion, then I'm excited.
I think it's just Mank. I think it's because of their Netflix deal.
Yeah.
All right.
I really liked Mank. I thought, it was one of those ones that came. People said, "Oh, it's overrated," and they just moved on. It was like, this is a good film.
I rewatched Dragon Tattoo the other day, and I was like, "This is a Christmas film."
Hell yeah, 100%.
Oh god.
You know, like when she tattoos that guy, and then like kicks giant titanium dildo up his ass, like
one of the most satisfying sequences in cinema.
And I think it's just even the foley on that is just like you hear every fucking inch of that thing go up his ass.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Dude, that's how I felt during Benedetta. I was like, whoa, this foley work.
It's definitely not monetized at all tonight. You're not going to get your 5 pence for this video or whatever.
No. I was already thinking, where am I going to spend that 5p?
Can't even get live for 5p anymore. Yeah, well, okay. Well, does anybody else have anything to say? Or is everybody pooped?
Are we going to end this on a note of inserting a titanium dildo?
It's an exploitation
we can
podcast. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, or you can just finish it with a message of goodwill to the world if you want. That's totally up to you.
I'm just very thankful. I'm like genuinely like very happy. Like this year has been very difficult, but I think there were so many parts in it that made me feel very, very hopeful for the future. For like once. For once.
I'm just thankful Cool Duda hasn't gone into a store and just done a mass shooting.
He's not sure now.
Hey? Oh my god, sir. Oh my god.
Gone into a Best Buy. He couldn't find his copy of Sonic the Hedgehog and just went ballistic.
My man went postal for Sonic.
Any of the messages of goodwill? Peter?
Yeah, I am dreading Sonic Hedgehog 2. That looks terrible. That should never be shown.
Oh my god, Idris Elba as Knuckles is wow.
Is he going to be have an English accent?
Yes, he does. He does have a British accent in the trailer.
Well, we all know who's going to go and review that for the site, aren't we, Mr. Krause?
Oh, hell yeah. That was like my only negative review for Movie Market ever. The first Sonic the Hedgehog. Because I really wanted to like that film. I really wanted to like it. And just like, ultimately, it was so fucking formulaic. I just know. It's like, it felt so soulless. And like the Olive Garden commercial in it just made it like, it's stressed at home. Like, at least when Michael Bay does like product placement, it feels very bizarrely organic. Like, at least it fits. But here's like, oh, here's a gift card to Olive Garden. What?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those films I actually watched. I just started to feel my soul go away slowly as the film went on. It just like, it was like, you ever seen Chronicle Riddick when they pull the soul out of the guy?
Yeah.
That's how I felt watching Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's like the cell. You remember the sequence with like the dream sequence where he takes the guts and he like starts spinning.
Yeah.
Oh, gut churning.
Yeah.
Nice. Eric, any messages of goodwill or anything you want to share?
No.
On that note,
fuck you.
Yeah.
What a humbug. What a humbug, motherfuckers.
Hey, just don't forget, when you hit 9K, you know what we do. You need to make that.
Yeah.
We have it on record now as well. So I'll be keeping tabs.
Yeah, clip it, send it.
Yeah.
So don't forget. So yeah. Okay, Huss, you can sign us off then.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, guys, for joining us today. And to everyone that's came into the chat. Hope everyone has a good Christmas. Happy holidays. Is it Hanukkah as well?
Hanukkah's
I think so.
Hanukkah. And what's the other one?
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I forgot.
Hanukkah ended on the 9th, I think.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Oh.
Well, I hope you had a good Hanukkah. Yeah. Have a good Christmas, everyone. Thank you again for joining us in the chat, and to the guys here. Cool.
Sorry for Carl's absence.
Yeah. Sorry, Carl.
Yeah.
But,
Traitor.
guys. Yeah. But just make sure you go into his next video and mug him off in the comments.
Yeah, he's in my video on Sunday, so you can when it comes up, you can just operate him.
Yeah. Yeah, please go comment on Carl's videos and say you're a mug for leaving us his stream.
Yeah.
But spam likes, though. Spam likes. That's
spam.
important.
Yeah. Okay. Take it easy, everyone. Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Right.
Christmas. Merry
Feliz
Christmas,
Navidad.
everyone.
Yeah.